Chapter 3161, The Secret of Hell's Shattering. Lord Wenchen personally entered to experience skeleton hell. From this request, Lin Moyu guessed his intention. Thinking back to when he first met Lord Wenchen had looked at him with a strange expression after checking his experiences through the General's seal. Before and after that look, Lord Wenchen's attitude towards him had undergone some subtle changes. These changes were very subtle, so small they could hardly be smaller. Lord Wenchen's control over his emotions was very strong, ordinary people couldn't sense it at all. But Lin Moyu had keenly detected it. At the time, Lin Moyu felt it was strange, not knowing what Lord Wenchen had seen. Now he understood, Lord Wenchen had seen skeleton hell. Lin Moyu remembered he had only used skeleton hell once at that time. That one use had attracted Lord Wenchen's attention. However, this time in the intersection realm, he had used skeleton hell again and again, many times at full power, completely and thoroughly displaying skeleton hell. The entire process had been recorded in the General's seal. Lin Moyu was very clear about this and hadn't deliberately avoided it. This time Lord Wenchen had seen more clearly, yet still wanted to enter skeleton hell himself and have Lin Moyu attack with full force. Lin Moyu looked at Lord Wenchen inside skeleton hell. He seemed to be confirming something. It seems skeleton hell really is related to the former hell. Lord Wenchen went through that great battle and must have seen the real hell. Perhaps he knows some information about hell. Lin Moyu was calculating, wanting to get some words out of Lord Wenchen's mouth. Regarding the former real hell, Lin Moyu had his own guesses, but guesses were just guesses after all. He had asked the three ancestors, but they had been vague, because the three ancestors had never seen the real hell, only heard about it. The three ancestors even feared hell, as if it was an incredibly terrifying place. All three were extremely wary. Lord Wenchen's reaction was completely different from the three ancestors. Lin Moyu guessed Lord Wenchen must have seen the real hell. The hell fiends frantically gnawed at Lord Wenchen, but were blocked by an invisible force. This force was very powerful. The hell fiends couldn't bite through at all. Lin Moyu's mind moved. The netherworld black pool rapidly rotated. The netherworld black dragon rushed out, opening its huge mouth to bite down on Lord Wenchen. Boom! Skeleton hell shook violently. The netherworld black dragon was also repelled by an invisible force. Its bite had no effect at all. Lord Wenchen still stood there, motionless. Lin Moyu walked into skeleton hell, coming before Lord Wenchen. "Senior, is there any problem with Junior's technique?" Lord Wenchen looked up at the gates of hell hidden in the flames and black mist in the depths of hell, not speaking. Lin Moyu knew Lord Wenchen didn't want to say, but he still persisted. "Senior, Junior guesses this technique should be related to the former hell. Does Senior know about the real hell of the past?" This question carried a hint of probing. He shouldn't have asked, but Lin Moyu couldn't help himself. Having finally met someone who might have seen hell, how could he let such a good opportunity pass? Lord Wenchen still looked at the gates of hell. His voice drifted over lightly. "Why do you think I would know?" Lin Moyu said, "From Senior's reaction, Junior guesses Senior should know about the real hell, maybe even have been there." Lord Wenchen chuckled, his eyes showing some reminiscence. "That's right, this old man did go there, but only once. Although only once, the memory is extremely vivid. I'll never forget it in my lifetime, especially those gates of hell." Lin Moyu said, "Please enlighten Junior." Lord Wenchen shook his head lightly. "You have questions, but these questions all need to be answered by yourself. No one can tell you what the real hell is like. Although this old man went there, I only went to the edge. I only saw the gates of hell from afar. The rest of the information was actually learned from elsewhere. The only thing this old man can tell you is that the gates of hell are the true core of the entire hell. If the gates of hell are incomplete, hell is incomplete. You feel your technique is related to hell. As it looks now, it is indeed related. But how much connection you actually have, you'll have to find the answer yourself." Lord Wenchen clearly knew, but just wouldn't say, playing dumb with him. Perhaps he really couldn't say. The history of the past had buried too many secrets. With insufficient strength, one wasn't qualified to know these things. Knowing wouldn't do any good, only bring trouble. Lin Moyu was very clever and naturally wouldn't pursue the question. He changed to another question. "Junior also wants to restore the gates of hell, but to restore the gates of hell, only merging hell fragments will work. However, hell fragments are very hard to find. So far, Junior has only found 2 pieces." Lord Wenchen's gaze held even deeper reminiscence. "When we heard the news of hell shattering back then, we were also extremely shocked. At the time, some Tao lords went to search for hell fragments. Later we got news that hell had shattered very thoroughly. Most had turned to dust, with only a few fragments remaining. Some came to the origin continent. Some went to unknown places. As for the true reason hell shattered, to be honest, we don't know either. Lin Moyu asked curiously. According to Junior's knowledge, hell shattered in a great battle back then. Junior guesses the outer gods shattered hell. Lord Wenchen shook his head. Not necessarily. From our understanding of the god realm, those fellows shouldn't have the ability to shatter hell. Lin Moyu was shocked. Could it be the black blood demons? Lord Wenchen still shook his head, indicating he couldn't be sure. It seemed even Lord Wenchen didn't know the answer to this question. If hell wasn't shattered by the outer gods and black blood realm, then who could it be? Could it be that an even more powerful force intervened in that prehistoric great battle? Lin Moyu asked. After hell shattered back then, did Senior search for fragments? He could see Lord Wenchen valued hell highly, so he asked this question. Lord Wenchen shook his head. The situation was special back then. We didn't go searching. Some Tao lords did search, but whether they found anything in the end, we don't know. But according to this old man's deduction, there should still be some fragments that fell on the origin continent. If you put your mind to it, you should be able to find them. Lin Moyu said. Junior will do his best to search. To be honest with Senior, Junior once had an extravagant hope of turning skeleton hell into the real hell. Lord Wenchen said meaningfully, I hope you can do it. This old man also wants to see the real gates of hell again. Lin Moyu's expression was determined. It will definitely happen. The stone chamber suddenly began to shake. Lord Wenchen said, the ancient battle's secret realm is ending. Due to the rules, this old man temporarily can't enter the origin continent again. You shouldn't go to the intersection realm for now either. This old man didn't expect you could devour Tao fragments. Something in the blood rat realm has been awakened. If you go again, you may be in danger. Chapter 3162, 3162. Chapter 3162, actually became a general. Lin Moyu was shocked. Before leaving the intersection realm, Lord Wenchen had glanced in the direction of the blood rat realm. Clearly, he had seen something. Lin Moyu asked, wasn't it said that great Tao realm beings can't take action there? Lord Wenchen shook his head. It's not that they completely can't, just that they would have to pay an extremely great price. But you went too far. You devoured quite a few Tao fragments. If you devour more, the Scarlet Fire Tao might never be able to recover. This is something they can't tolerate. Even if they have to pay a huge price, they'll find a way to kill you. The Scarlet Fire Tao was one of the foundations of the Blood Rat Realm. The Rat Realm would never allow anything to happen to the Scarlet Fire Tao. What Lin Moyu did was equivalent to digging up someone's ancestral grave. Who could tolerate that? Lin Moyu asked, then how long should Junior wait before going in again? The intersection realm was a good place that could let skeleton hell grow rapidly. Besides there, Lin Moyu hadn't found a place more suitable for upgrading skeleton hell. Lord Wenchen held up 5 fingers, at least 5 years. If you go again after 5 years, this old man will sense it. At that time, this old man will go with you. If they really take action against you, with this old man there, at least I can keep you safe. Lin Moyu nodded. Thank you for the trouble, Senior. At this time, the shaking of the stone chamber became more violent. The closing time of the ancient battle's secret realm was drawing nearer. Lord Wenchen pointed a finger, and a beam of light fell on Lin Moyu's general seal. The general seal immediately grew slightly larger. The 6 on the seal changed to 5. Lin Moyu officially advanced to 5th grade general. At the same time, Lord Wenchen tossed 100 great Tao crystals to Lin Moyu. This is what you deserve. Although great Tao crystals are just dust of the Tao, their effect on cultivation is excellent, second only to Tao rewards. These things aren't common. Use them sparingly. Lin Moyu put away the great Tao crystals and joked, if I grind Tao fragments into powder, could they become great Tao crystals? Lord Wenchen was amused by Lin Moyu's wild imagination. Hard to say. You can try. What if it works? Lin Moyu nodded very seriously. I'll try next time. The stone chamber collapsed amid the shaking, vanishing into smoke. Lin Moyu bowed to Lord Wenchen. He could feel that Lord Wenchen bore him no ill will. Although Lord Wenchen also had his own selfish motives, letting him go to the intersection realm also had other purposes. But in any case, he didn't mean to harm him, and had also given him sufficient benefits. So, Lin Moyu was still grateful to Lord Wenchen in his heart. After all, it's perfectly normal for everyone to have their own purposes in doing anything. As long as they don't harm others, it's fine. If it's like Lord Wenchen, it can be called a win-win situation. The scene before his eyes became blurry. A powerful force enveloped him, sending him outside the secret realm. The gates of the secret realm had completely closed. The next opening would be in 1,000 years. The general seal was still at his waist. It had become dim, not as brilliant as in the ancient battle's secret realm. Lin Moyu could sense that the seal was absorbing power. After 100 days, it would be able to take him to the intersection realm. Noisy sounds rang in his ears. The voices of nearly 10,000 beast race people merged together, sounding like thunder. Used to the quietness of the ancient battle's secret realm, suddenly hearing such noisy sounds made Lin Moyu feel emotional for a moment. Quietness and noise both have their own flavors. After being in one environment for a long time, sometimes one misses the other. This fickle thinking is perhaps human nature. Mr. Lin, congratulations on your safe return. A crisp voice sounded. Lin Moyu turned his head to see Jin Lan smiling at him. Jin Lan's smile was radiant, obviously in a very good mood. It seemed her gains this time were not small. Lin Moyu felt that Jin Lan's aura was more stable than before, her cultivation having clearly improved. Lin Moyu also smiled. I imagine the Great Elder's gains this time weren't small either. Jin Lan came before Lin Moyu, thanks to Mr. Lin healing Jin Lan's injuries. Otherwise, it would have been difficult to have this opportunity. Jin Lan was being polite. Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't take it seriously. Although his luck would have some influence on Jin Lan, the effect it could have was after all limited. Whatever gains Jin Lan had depended most importantly on herself. Jin Lan smiled brightly. It was clear she was truly grateful to Lin Moyu. Suddenly she noticed the seal at Lin Moyu's waist. Mr. Lin, you joined the Divine Rune Army. Lin Moyu nodded. I did. Jin Lan said, can I take a look at this seal? Of course. Lin Moyu waved his hand, and the seal flew into Jin Lan's hand. Jin Lan held the seal, her eyes shining as if she had obtained a treasure. At this moment, she didn't look at all like a top 9th level Dao Venerable powerhouse. Jin Lan sighed. Mr. Lin may not know, when Jin Lan first entered Dao Venerable and entered the ancient battle's secret realm for the first time, elders told me to try to join the Divine Rune Army. I tried again and again, until I reached 7th level Dao Venerable, but never succeeded. In the end, I had no choice but to give up. Lin Moyu asked curiously, I saw that your clan's records didn't mention the Divine Rune Army. In the secret realm, I met a friend from the Celestial Fox clan. He said apart from the Celestial Fox clan and Green Wind Wolf clan, the other 8 royal clans had given up on joining the Divine Rune Army. Jin Lan said, we did give up, but we still pass it down by word of mouth, trying one more time. Unfortunately, no one has ever succeeded. I see. Lin Moyu finally understood why the Golden Lion clan's records didn't have this part. They had really given up, with only oral transmission remaining. 3rd level and 4th level Dao Venerables enter different areas of the secret realm. To join the Divine Rune Army, the difficulty of tasks to complete is also different. Until after 7th level Dao Venerable, one can no longer join the Divine Rune Army. The highest limit for the Divine Rune Army to recruit new soldiers is 6th level Dao Venerable. Jin Lan had tried many times but failed. Finally, after reaching 7th level Dao Venerable, she completely gave up. Ah! Jin Lan suddenly let out a low cry. She looked at Lin Moyu in utter disbelief, completely losing her composure. Her 9th level Dao Venerable body was actually trembling slightly. Jin Lan's breathing even became heavier. Mr. Lin, you not only joined the Divine Rune Army, but actually became a general. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. Just lucky. Jin Lan wouldn't believe such talk of luck. To join the Divine Rune Army required not only wisdom but also strength. She had the strength but lacked sufficient wisdom, which was why she failed repeatedly. Lin Moyu not only joined, but also became a general in one go, and a 5th grade one at that. At this moment, in Jin Lan's eyes as she looked at Lin Moyu, there was something called admiration. What she couldn't achieve after countless efforts became so easy before Lin Moyu. Not just her, neither the Celestial Fox clan nor the Green Wind Wolf clan had ever had anyone reach 5th grade general. Lin Moyu could be said to have set a precedent. The key point was, Lin Moyu was only 3rd level Dao Venerable. Everything that happened to Lin Moyu had completely shattered her understanding. Even calling it a miracle wasn't enough. It was impossible not to admire Lin Moyu. Suddenly, the surrounding noise cleared. It suddenly became quiet. Everyone simultaneously looked up at the sky. A group of people were coming together. Chapter 3163, 3163. Chapter 3163, The Beast Emperor's friend naturally should be called Sir. The leaders of the 10 royal clans have come together. My goodness, the 10 royal clan leaders have come together. Has something happened? The royal clan leaders, 9th level Dao Venerables, great beings second only to the Beast Emperor, actually moving together. What's going on? At once, countless discussions arose. Where the 10 clan leaders passed, beast race people knelt on the ground. The beast race people knelt on the ground, looking up at the sky, their eyes full of admiration. The leaders of the 10 royal clans were each top existences, and also idols for all beast race people. Jin Lan chuckled lightly, it seems the clan leaders have come to find Mr. Lin. Lin Moyu had also noticed. These clan leaders seemed to be searching for someone. There was an 8 or 9 out of 10 chance they were coming to find him. Suddenly, Lei Tian pointed in his direction. Everyone immediately flew over towards him. They really are coming to find me. It seems some things must have happened while I was in the secret realm. I don't know these clan leaders, but looking at their expressions, it's a bit strange. Lin Moyu thought to himself as the clan leaders arrived nearby. Lei Tian spoke first, congratulations, Mr. Lin, on returning with a full load. Jin Mie immediately followed, congratulations, Mr. Lin, on returning with a full load. The 2 clan leaders speaking in succession led the way, and the other clan leaders promptly echoed them. Lin Moyu found it even stranger. How could these 9th level Dao Venerable clan leaders be so polite to him? In the beast races, the title, Sir, wasn't used casually. It was a term of respect. 1, Sir, elevated Lin Moyu's status extremely high, already putting him on equal footing with the clan leaders. At this time, countless beast race people looked over, wanting to see who could deserve to be called, Sir, by the 10 royal clan leaders. At this moment, Lin Moyu couldn't pretend to be humble even if he wanted to. He slowly flew up, coming before the clan leaders, greetings to the clan leaders. Sumo said, Mr. Lin needn't stand on ceremony. We just wanted to come see Mr. Lin's demeanor. This old man is Sumo, leader of the Celestial Fox clan. Sumo wore a smile, looking very kind, like a nice old man. The Celestial Fox clan was the smartest race among the beast races. Being able to become the leader of the Celestial Fox clan, he was naturally one of the smartest people in the clan, knowing how to interact with Lin Moyu. In his eyes, Lin Moyu's luck had transformed into a dragon. His luck was so strong, it was unprecedented in Sumo's life. After Sumo, a big man called out, I'm Heida, leader of the Black Bear clan. Hello, Mr. Lin, this old man is Qing Lang, leader of the Green Wind Wolf clan. The clan leaders introduced themselves one by one, without any airs, calling him, Mr. Lin, very enthusiastically. Lin Moyu greeted them in return. After the introductions, they became somewhat familiar. Lin Moyu asked, clan leaders have come specially to find me. What instructions do you have? Sumo smiled, no instructions. We old fellows just wanted to come meet Mr. Lin, see Mr. Lin's demeanor. This old man knows Mr. Lin has many questions. Why don't we go back and talk? Lin Moyu understood his meaning. There were many people and eyes here. A public place wasn't good for talking. Lin Moyu said, all right, please lead the way. The clan leaders wore smiles, leading the way in front, taking Lin Moyu back to the camp. In the camp, around a stone round table, 11 stone chairs were neatly arranged. The stone chairs were identical, with no difference in size, also meaning there was no hierarchy among the 10 royal clans. Now, the 10 stone chairs had become 11. Lin Moyu was pushed by them to sit in one of them. In the countless years of beast race history, Lin Moyu was the first person to sit at this stone table. Lin Moyu smiled, clan leaders, can you tell me now? Sumo smiled, Mr. Lin knows our clan's fungs, right? Lin Moyu nodded, friend Su is a good person. We cooperated in the secret realm. Lin Moyu thought to himself, could it be that Su Feng said something? But with Su Fengzi's influence, he couldn't possibly achieve this effect. Sumo said, Su Feng's came out early for some reason and said some things about Mr. Lin. But don't worry, Mr. Lin. Su Feng's made a great Dao oath to only say what could be said. Coincidentally, clan leader Lei Tian contacted the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor sent some ancient boxes for Mr. Lin. After Su Mo's explanation, Lin Moyu finally knew why these clan leaders treated him differently and were so polite. The reason was still the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor called him a friend. How could these people dare to put themselves on equal footing with the Beast Emperor? So they directly called him, Sir. In their eyes, someone who could be called a friend by the Beast Emperor naturally deserved to be called, Sir. The Beast Emperor not only sent ancient boxes, but also strengthened Su Fengzi's bloodline, directly changing him from a collateral branch to the main branch, renaming him Suzi from now on. As Su Mo spoke, he kept glancing at the general seal at Lin Moyu's waist. Finally, he couldn't help but ask, Mr. Lin, may I ask what grade you are now? Lin Moyu said, 5th grade. Hiss. Everyone drew in a sharp breath. First time entering the ancient battle secret realm, not only joining the Divine Rune Army from an ordinary soldier, but directly advancing to 5th grade general. When Suzy said earlier that Lin Moyu had reached 7th grade general, it was already shocking enough. Now advancing to 5th grade general was simply a miracle. The other clan leaders were just shocked, but only Su Mo, who understood the ancient battle secret realm best, knew how terrifying this situation was. Su Mo said, in our beast race history, the highest was only 6th grade general. Mr. Lin has broken the record in one go. Truly a godlike person. Lin Moyu quickly said, clan leader Su praises too much. I was just a bit luckier. Su Mo chuckled, I wonder where Mr. Lin plans to go next. Su Mo would like to invite Mr. Lin to visit our Celestial Fox clan as a guest. I don't know if Mr. Lin has time. Lin Moyu saw a different meaning in Su Mo's eyes. He wasn't simply inviting, he seemed to have something to discuss with him. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, I originally planned to go to the Western continent. Since clan leader Su invites me, I won't stand on ceremony. Su Mo smiled, it's our clan's honor that you can come. Oh right, these are the 3 ancient boxes the Beast Emperor brought. He waved his hand, and 3 exquisite boxes appeared on the table. Lin Moyu didn't stand on ceremony and directly took the boxes, the Beast Emperor is really polite, even personally delivering them. Also, thank you clan leader Lei Tian for going to such trouble for my sake. Clan leader Lei Tian laughed heartily, Mr. Lin is too polite. Your kindness to our clan, such a small matter is nothing. At this time, Su Mo took out another ancient box, this is what I had people find in our clan's warehouse. Unfortunately there's only one, please accept it, Mr. Lin. Lin Moyu immediately said politely, thank you for your trouble. At this time, the other clan leaders also took out ancient boxes one after another. Apart from Lei Tian, Jin Mie and Su Mo, among the other 7 clan leaders, 5 took out ancient boxes to give to Lin Moyu, but unfortunately only 1 box each. Originally when Lei Tian asked them, they all said they didn't have any. But after the Beast Emperor brought 3, they had people search their clan warehouses. This search actually found a few, which they promptly had sent over. They also asked various medium and small clans, but after asking around, found none had any, so they could only give up. Counting the 3 from the Beast Emperor, Lin Moyu obtained 9 boxes without any effort, making him very happy. This matter still required thanking Lei Tian. If not for Lei Tian notifying the Beast Emperor, he wouldn't have gotten these. Lei Tian deserved at least half the credit. Chapter 3164, 3164. Chapter 3164, Su Mo's True Purpose. As this ancient battle secret realm ended, the forces of various clans gradually dispersed, and the world outside the ancient battle secret realm became quiet. As they returned, Lin Moyu's title of Sir would surely spread throughout the entire beast race. A human at only 3rd level Dao Venerable being respectfully called Sir by the leaders of the 10 royal clans together. Such a strange thing would surely become a topic of conversation for countless beast clans. Lin Moyu accepted Su Mo's invitation to visit the Celestial Fox clan as a guest. Lin Moyu bid farewell to Jin Mie and boarded the Celestial Fox clan's flying ship. The flying ship broke through the void, moving extremely fast. This was a rare flying treasure, reaching 8th level Dao Venerable grade. Its speed was considerably faster than Lin Moyu flying at full power. On the flying ship, Lin Moyu stood at the bow, looking into the distance. In the distance were mountains hidden in clouds and mist. The mountains rapidly enlarged in his vision, then were quickly left behind, shrinking until they disappeared from view. The Celestial Fox clan was located at the westernmost edge of the northern continent, close to the Realm Sea, and also one of the areas closest to the western continent. Lin Moyu wanted to go to the western continent. The shortest route was actually to cross straight through the Celestial Fox clan's territory. Sumo stood beside Lin Moyu, smiling. Actually, this time several clan leaders all wanted to invite Mr. Lin as a guest. But this old man took the initiative first, so they didn't dare speak up. Lin Moyu could see that the other clan leaders also wanted to invite him, but Sumo spoke first. Among the 10 royal clans, Sumo's status as clan leader was very high. Once he spoke, the others no longer said anything. Sumo continued speaking. Actually, they were giving this old man face. After all, this old man is quite a bit older than them. Their previous clan leaders were also this old man's good friends. Counting back, they're all this old man's juniors. Lin Moyu said, I see. No wonder I felt those clan leaders all respected you very much. Sumo said, this old man has just lived a few more years, it's nothing. Actually, this old man should have retired long ago, but... Sumo sighed lightly, his eyes showing some regret. Lin Moyu realized that something must have happened in the Celestial Fox clan. For someone of Sumo's age to still occupy the position of clan leader was actually very unreasonable. In the beast races, a clan leader's term was at least 10,000 years, at most 100,000 years. Even the longest serving should change after 200,000 years. Sumo had sat in the clan leader position for over 500,000 years, enough time for 2 changes of leadership. But the Celestial Fox clan had never changed leaders. Sumo had always been the clan leader. This was very abnormal. Probably this time Sumo inviting him to their clan also had some other reasons. Lin Moyu said, Clan leader Su, if you have something to say, just say it directly. If I can help, I'll do my best. Sumo said, to be honest with Mr. Lin, this old man inviting you over this time indeed has something to ask of you. Previously this old man had given up thinking about that matter, because it was too difficult, almost hopeless. Until meeting Mr. Lin, it gave this old man hope again. Our Celestial Fox clan is the wisest clan among the beast races. Even the Green Wind Wolf clan is quite inferior compared to us. At the same time, our inheritance is also extremely special. Sumo told the whole story. Like an aged elder, he told an ancient tale. Possibly fearing Lin Moyu wouldn't be willing to help, Sumo was very frank and didn't conceal anything. Lin Moyu could feel that Sumo wasn't speaking carelessly. He neither exaggerated nor omitted, only stating facts. Every clan has its own history. Through Sumo's narration, although he hadn't yet entered the Celestial Fox clan, the outline of the Celestial Fox clan became clear in Lin Moyu's mind. The Celestial Fox clan was the oldest clan among the beast races, and also the first clan to follow the Beast Emperor, older than the other royal clans. There weren't 10 royal clans from the beginning. They grew one by one, with the Celestial Fox clan being the first. Over countless years, the Celestial Fox clan had also experienced several disasters, but ultimately passed through them all safely. The Celestial Fox clan had its own special abilities, allowing it to turn danger into safety time after time. This time, the Celestial Fox clan encountered difficulties again, greater than any previous time. Even though the Celestial Fox clan was currently at the peak of its power, with 5 top 9th level Dao Venerable powerhouses including Sumo. There were even more 8th level Dao Venerable powerhouses. In terms of number of experts, one Celestial Fox clan could match 2 other royal clans, and still have some left over. For the Celestial Fox clan, this should be a time of prosperity. But it was in this situation that an internal crisis appeared. The crisis came from their special inheritance method. In the Celestial Fox clan, to become clan leader, one must undergo the Ancestral Lands test. Only after gaining recognition could one become clan leader. This point was actually very similar to the Lightning Purple Striped Tiger clan. What the Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land tested, besides one's own strength, was also luck. Only with sufficient luck could one pass the test. The Celestial Fox clan claimed to have 5 9th level Dao Venerables, but actually now only had 3. 2 9th level Dao Venerable powerhouses had become trapped in the ancestral land while undergoing the test, their life or death unknown. After the incident, Sumo went to look in the ancestral land. He saw that there was a problem with the ancestral land, but couldn't find the root of the problem. He also couldn't rescue the two people trapped in the ancestral land. Later he went to find the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor also came to look, but even the Beast Emperor had no solution. However, the Beast Emperor used a secret technique through a karmic treasure to obtain some vague answers. To resolve this crisis of the Celestial Fox clan required a person with extremely strong luck. The Celestial Fox clan had always befriended people with good luck. Among the people they knew, there were quite a few with excellent luck. Sumo had also sought people. He found 4 in total, but none worked. 2 returned without success, while the other 2 died directly in the ancestral land. These were already the 4 people with the best luck they could find. With no choice, Sumo could only give up. He also could only continue sitting in the clan leader position. But this crisis wasn't as simple as he thought. In the recent 10,000 years, the ancestral land underwent some strange changes, becoming more and more dangerous. Many Celestial Fox clan members who entered had problems. The lightest were severely injured, the heaviest died, and some became trapped in the ancestral land, unable to escape. In the Celestial Fox clan, those who could enter the ancestral land were all 7th level Tao Venerable existences or above. Only by entering the ancestral land and receiving its baptism could one continue advancing beyond 7th level Tao Venerable. Once the ancestral land had problems, it also cut off the Celestial Fox clan's path of advancement. Now the Celestial Fox clan still had 3 9th level Tao Venerables and many 8th level Tao Venerables. But if this continued, no new 9th level and 8th level powerhouses would appear in the clan. With inheritance cut off, after several 100,000 years, when their generation passed away, the Celestial Fox clan would be removed from the royal clans, even inferior to some small clans. After listening, Lin Moyu asked softly, even with the Beast Emperor's luck there's no way. Sumo said, although the Beast Emperor's luck is strong, it's still not quite enough. This old man doesn't know the exact reason either. Moreover, the Beast Emperor can't use full power. Once using full power, he might shatter our ancestral land. Then our Celestial Fox clan would be finished. The Beast Emperor indeed had the strength, but he also couldn't shatter the Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land just to solve the problem. That wouldn't be saving people, but harming them. Sumo said, as long as Mr. Lin can save our clan from this crisis, whatever conditions you need, just name them. This old man will certainly do his utmost to fulfill them for you. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, but didn't immediately agree. Let's wait until we get there and I see for myself before deciding. Chapter 3165, 3165. Chapter 3165, the first city of the origin continent. Luck is a very troublesome thing. Even though Lin Moyu comprehended the luck Tao, he still felt his understanding of luck was only superficial. If it was just a small problem, he might be able to solve it. If it involved too deeply, Lin Moyu could only say he couldn't help. As for whether he could help or not, he really needed to see for himself before knowing. Without confidence, Lin Moyu wouldn't casually agree. Once he agreed, he had to follow through. Sumo had lived for hundreds of thousands of years and had long since become shrewd. He naturally understood Lin Moyu's thoughts. Lin Moyu being so cautious was actually a good thing. Some people readily agree but can't follow through in the end. That's what's really annoying. At this moment, Lin Moyu's luck had transformed into a dragon. Sumo could see it very clearly. He recalled that when Suzy returned, he mentioned Lin Moyu had once manifested 3 luck dragons. 3 luck dragons, Sumo had never heard of such a thing. For a normal person to have 1 luck dragon already represented extremely strong luck, far surpassing ordinary people. If there were 3, plus Lin Moyu's wisdom and caution, Sumo felt there might be a chance. Sumo thought for a moment and said softly, our Celestial Fox clan is the oldest race in the northern continent. Moreover, our clan's inheritance has never been broken, nor have we suffered any great disasters. Also, our clan members have wide connections. We've traveled all 4 continents in the past, including exploring the depths of the realm sea, thus accumulating countless materials and all kinds of rare treasures. Regardless of whether Mr. Lin can help or not, as long as Mr. Lin needs anything, just say it. Sumo decided to place his bet first. No matter the result, even if he lost, he wouldn't regret it. And he believed in his judgment. He wouldn't misjudge people. Lin Moyu's character was worthy of trust. Lin Moyu's gaze moved slightly. If that's the case, I do have something I'd like to ask clan leader Su about. Su Mo said, I wouldn't dare say, ask. Whatever Mr. Lin has to say, please go ahead. Lin Moyu said, I'm looking for hell fragments. I don't know if clan leader Su has any related information. Hearing the words, hell fragments, Su Mo's expression suddenly changed. His eyes unconsciously narrowed. Seeing his reaction, Lin Moyu knew he definitely knew about hell fragments. Su Mo suppressed the trembling in his heart and said softly, Mr. Lin is actually looking for this thing. Lin Moyu said, yes, hell fragments are just one of the things I'm looking for. Other things can be discussed in the future. Su Mo asked, is Mr. Lin going to the western continent for the Netherworld clan's hell fragment? Lin Moyu smiled, clan leader Su indeed knows. That's right, I'm going to the western continent indeed for the hell fragment. Besides the Netherworld clan, does clan leader Su have any other news about hell fragments? Su Mo thought for a moment and shook his head lightly, I don't have specific news, but I've seen some materials before that might provide some clues for Mr. Lin. Countless years ago, it seems someone also pursued hell fragments. When this old man returns to the clan, I'll search carefully for the materials. Lin Moyu said, good, I hope there will be some gains. Su Mo nodded, this old man will certainly search carefully. He could say this, and Lin Moyu knew he must have seen relevant materials. However, he didn't have the inclination to search for hell fragments, so naturally wouldn't pay too much attention. In fact, for dangerous things like hell fragments, just the name carried a power of fear that could make people deliberately ignore their existence. The flying ship flew rapidly, crossing the vast land of the northern continent, finally reaching the Celestial Fox clan's territory. At the edge of the territory, Lin Moyu already saw a city. The city wasn't large in scale, but exuded an ancient aura, clearly having undergone the baptism of time. Su Mo introduced, this city is called North Fox City. It's our Celestial Fox clan's northernmost city. Its history of existence has exceeded 1,000,000 years. After 1,000,000 years of wind and rain, undergoing several renovations, this city still retains its original appearance. 1,000,000-year-old ancient city indeed had a unique aura. This was an aura from the ages, not something ordinary cities could possess. Lin Moyu had seen many ancient cities, but few could compare to North Fox City. The Celestial Fox clan had never experienced the effects of war over countless years. Only then could the cities in their territory possess this aura steeped in years. Not just North Fox City, the entire Celestial Fox clan, including its grass, trees and land, all emitted a similar aura. The flying ship didn't stop. North Fox City was instantly left far behind, disappearing from view. Ahead, more cities appeared in sight. Each city emitted an ancient and simple aura. Lin Moyu said, truly an ancient land. Su Mo said with some pride, cities like North Fox City, in our clan's territory, there are 1,080 in total. Plus villages large and small, our Celestial Fox clan has a population of 10 billion. 10 billion clan members was indeed worthy of being called a great clan. Other royal clans didn't have so many people. It would take 2 or 3 combined to compare. Such a huge base could bring powerful luck, and at the same time could give birth to countless geniuses. Normally, the stronger the luck, the more powerful experts would be born. The more powerful experts, the more they would nourish the luck, making the luck even stronger. Finally forming a positive cycle, leading the entire race towards the peak. However, now due to some special reasons, this positive cycle had been broken. The road to the peak was broken, and the Celestial Fox clan fell into the greatest crisis in its history. The flying ship passed city after city. Lin Moyu saw that besides being ancient, each city had strong luck. The Celestial Fox clan's luck was very strong, much stronger than the Golden Lion clan and Lightning Purple Striped Tiger clan. It was the race with the strongest luck he had seen. Finally, an incredibly huge city appeared in sight. The entire city stretched across a mountain range, extending for hundreds of thousands of li, carved and built with supernatural skill. Looking from afar, the entire mountain range had become a celestial fox. Its peaks became the celestial fox's head, fur, body, and 9 celestial fox tails, all lifelike. The entire city emitted an ancient aura, fused with the power of origin spirit veins, spreading freely between heaven and earth. It could be certain that under this city named 9 Tails, there was a high-grade origin spirit vein. This origin spirit vein was at least 8th grade. It probably hadn't reached 9th grade. Once an origin spirit vein reached 9th grade, there would be unusual phenomena above the vein. But even if it hadn't reached 9th grade, Lin Moyu guessed it wasn't far from 9th grade. Lin Moyu exclaimed in admiration, "Among all the cities Lin has seen, this city should rank first." Sumo nodded, "This city is our clan's painstaking work over countless years. Even the Beast Emperor once praised this city as currently the first in the origin continent." Lin Moyu asked, "This city is named Nine Tails. Does it have any special meaning?" Sumo said, "Legend has it that our Celestial Fox clan's ancestor had 9 tails. 9 tails is the highest realm of our Celestial Fox clan. Unfortunately, later generations are useless. No one has been able to reach this legendary realm again. The Celestial Fox clan's ancestor was called the 9-tailed Celestial Fox, an incredibly powerful being comparable to the Beast Emperor." Lin Moyu smiled, "Perhaps there will be a chance in the future. Nothing is certain. Anything is possible." Sumo smiled, "Thank you for Mr. Lin's kind words." Getting closer and closer to Nine Tails City, Lin Moyu saw the luck belonging to Nine Tails City. As the capital of the Celestial Fox clan, its luck also represented the luck of the Celestial Fox clan. Lin Moyu suddenly said softly, "Stop the flying ship." Chapter 3166, 3166. Chapter 3166, Misfortune, Advance or Collapse. Lin Moyu's words were like an order. Sumo immediately commanded the flying ship to stop. The flying ship that had been rushing suddenly came to an emergency stop, almost instantly stopping in midair. Fortunately, everyone on the flying ship was a cultivator, at least Dao Venerable level, able to react to sudden speed changes. If they were ordinary people, they would have been thrown about. The flying ship stopped in midair. Lin Moyu looked towards Nine Tails City, his eyes slightly narrowed, emitting a misty aura. Sumo sensed Lin Moyu's change but didn't ask much, just quietly waiting. He knew Lin Moyu must have discovered something. The mist around Lin Moyu grew thicker and thicker, gradually enveloping his entire person. Sumo silently retreated several steps, avoiding the mist emanating from Lin Moyu. He feared that if he touched the mist, it would affect Lin Moyu. Now it concerned his race's life and death. He didn't dare be the least bit careless. If he entered the mist now, he would see that Lin Moyu's body had become ethereal. At the same time, an equally ethereal Dao appeared at Lin Moyu's feet, as if he was stepping on it. Stepping on the Dao, if this were known, it would absolutely shock the world. Lin Moyu saw Nine Tails City's luck, equivalent to seeing the Celestial Fox clan's luck. He instinctively sensed something was wrong, then used his luck Dao true body, wanting to borrow the Dao's power to see more clearly. Above Nine Tails City, luck soared to the heavens. The Celestial Fox clan's strong luck was extremely rare. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the Celestial Fox clan's luck had turned purple, emitting a noble aura. Purple luck was noble beyond words. Lin Moyu had seen such luck before on the 3 ancestors and Beast Emperor. Their luck emitted a purple intent. At that time, Lin Moyu realized that purple luck might be a sign of the Great Dao realm. Now, purple intent also appeared in the Celestial Fox clan's luck. This meant the Celestial Fox clan was very likely to produce an expert surpassing 9th level Dao Venerable. Or perhaps their long-lost ancestor might reappear. Whatever the reason, as long as they could maintain this luck, the Celestial Fox clan would surely advance further. Moreover, under such luck, most clan members would have constant good fortune. Sometimes, even in danger, they could turn misfortune into good fortune, unless extremely unlucky. Originally, having such luck should be a very good thing. But for some reason, Lin Moyu sensed something was off. In the deepest part of the luck, Lin Moyu saw a tiny bit of black. Misfortune. Misfortune appeared in the deepest part of the luck. Now the misfortune was still very weak, not greatly affecting the entire race. But once misfortune truly appeared, it meant the Celestial Fox clan would face a calamity. Misfortune was two-sided. If they passed through it, they would soar. If they couldn't pass through it, they would fall to the bottom. Sometimes, misfortune was a test. Lin Moyu stared at the black spot in the luck, hoping to see something from the misfortune. Even with misfortune, there were differences. Ordinary people couldn't see luck. Even if they used treasures to see it, they couldn't see misfortune. Even with some secret techniques to see misfortune, they might not recognize it. Only people like Lin Moyu who comprehended the luck Dao could clearly see misfortune. If one's spiritual sense was keen enough, one could analyze the source of the misfortune from within it. In Lin Moyu's view, there were only two types of misfortune. One was man-made, the other naturally occurring. The former needn't be said, someone was targeting the Celestial Fox clan. But on the northern continent, all was under the Beast Emperor's rule. Who would dare move against the Celestial Fox clan? The second type was naturally occurring, indicating the Celestial Fox clan's luck would face a great test for ascension. Success meant establishment, failure meant collapse. The black spot of misfortune gradually enlarged in Lin Moyu's eyes. He saw more and more clearly. Finally, he saw a strange place. At the very center of the misfortune, there was actually another tiny black spot. This black spot was extremely small, small enough to be completely ignored. If luck were compared to an ocean, then misfortune would be a reef in the ocean, not an island, but a reef. And this black spot now seen would be an insignificant bit of moss on the reef. The reason Lin Moyu could discover it was because it was deeper and blacker than the misfortune. This blackness was very profound and also brought inexplicable fear. Black blood. Lin Moyu almost instinctively thought of black blood. The black blood from the black blood realm was so profound. But this was luck. How could black blood exist here? Black blood was real, luck was illusory. The two shouldn't have any intersection. But what if it was possible? Lin Moyu's heart surged with shock. If it really was the black blood realm, then things would be troublesome. Those who invaded the origin continent back then weren't just outer gods, but also powerhouses from the black blood realm. Outer gods still had remnants in the origin continent. People from the black blood realm must also have remnants. From the great world to the origin continent, it seems I have inextricable karma with the black blood realm. What a trouble, Lin Moyu sighed in his heart. Whether it was black blood or not, it seemed he had to take a look. The mist dispersed. Lin Moyu had already put away his Tao True body. Sumo immediately asked, "Mr. Lin, how is it?" Lin Moyu said, "There are indeed some problems. As you said, the root of the problem may be in your clan's ancestral land. The specifics, I may need to go to your clan's ancestral land to know." Sumo's eyes lit up. Mr. Lin has agreed to help. Since Lin Moyu had already spoken, he naturally wouldn't go back on his word. "I'll do my best. I hope I can help your clan." Sumo said happily, "You can, you definitely can. When we reach Nine-Tails City, we'll first arrange for Mr. Lin to settle in. Let Suzy take Mr. Lin to tour Nine-Tails City. This old man will go prepare for entering the ancestral land. When preparations are ready, I'll come find Mr. Lin. Don't worry, Mr. Lin. It won't take long, at most 10 days. It won't delay Mr. Lin too much time." Lin Moyu nodded, "All right. I have a few disciples with me. They'll definitely be interested in Nine-Tails City too." Sumo smiled, "That's for sure. Nine-Tails City won't disappoint Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin can choose a mountain peak. This old man will have people clear it out for Mr. Lin to live in." Nine-Tails City was built along the mountain range. The entire city extended over 400,000 li, divided into inner and outer cities. The first 300,000 li was the outer city, for Celestial Fox clan collateral members and other visiting beast races to live and do business. The last 100,000 li area was the inner city, exclusively for Celestial Fox clan direct lineage members. The entire city was also divided into upper, middle and lower levels from bottom to top. The lower level was at the foot of the mountains. The most people lived here, and their status was also the lowest. The middle level was on the mountainsides. Those who could live here basically all had extraordinary identities, not something money alone could buy. Many good things could only be bought in the middle level. The upper level consisted of mountain peaks, looking like the fur of the nine-tailed celestial fox from afar. Those who could live on the mountain peaks were absolutely truly noble in status. If other beast races came here, at least a royal clan elder would be qualified to stay. As for the leaders of some small clans, they weren't even qualified. And now, Lin Moyu could freely choose any mountain peak he liked to live on. This was enough to prove how important Lin Moyu was in Sumo's heart. Chapter 3167, 3167. Chapter 3167, Lord Wenshin's words aren't entirely correct. On top of the mountain peak, an exquisite palace stood at the summit. From here one could see the entire view of Nine-Tails City, giving a feeling of standing at the highest point. Lin Moyu didn't have any requirements for where to stay. But Lin Moyu not having requirements didn't mean Sumo could arrange things casually. Sumo arranged a mountain peak for Lin Moyu. The peak was in the inner city area, but relatively close to the outer city area, convenient for Lin Moyu's people to go into the city to play. He also arranged a group of people to provide various services for Lin Moyu. Whether eating, drinking, playing, or anything else, they could satisfy all needs. It must be said that the Celestial Fox clan was indeed the smartest clan among the beast races, considering things very thoroughly. At this moment, Lin Moyu became the Celestial Fox clan's most honored guest. Only when other royal clan leaders came would there be such treatment. And Lin Moyu was the first human to stay on a mountain peak in Nine-Tails City, making the significance even more extraordinary. When Sumo personally led Lin Moyu into the mountain peak, it caused shock among many Celestial Fox clan members. But Sumo's prestige in the clan was strong. No one dared question his orders. Over 100 Celestial Fox clan members, following Sumo's orders, were ready to obey Lin Moyu's commands at any time. Sumo gave strict orders that Lin Moyu was to be respected like himself, absolutely no negligence allowed, all standards to be the highest. After arranging everything, Sumo went to prepare for entering the ancestral land. The ancestral land wasn't somewhere one could enter at will. Preparations needed to be made in advance. Lin Moyu released Little Mist and the other two from the Great World. The three didn't know where they had come. Lin Moyu smiled. This is Nine-Tails City of the Celestial Fox clan. Little Mist's eyes suddenly lit up. Her crisp voice sounded, Nine-Tails City, the one called the world's #1 city. They had clearly heard of this city. Nine-Tails City was too famous. It would be hard not to know of it. Obviously, Little Five and Little Moon were also moved. They also wanted to see the city called the world's #1. Lin Moyu nodded. You can go play. There are Celestial Fox clan people outside. Let them be your guides. Remember to be careful. If anything happens, contact me anytime. Take this token. You can activate it if there's trouble. As he spoke, Lin Moyu tossed them Sumo's token. The token represented Sumo. With the token, they wouldn't need to worry about any trouble in Nine-Tails City. Moreover, with Celestial Fox clan people as guides, there was even less to worry about. Sumo had said there was no need to worry about safety issues in Nine-Tails City. After the three left, the palace became quiet again. Lin Moyu sat in a chair, making tea for himself, recalling this trip to the ancient battle secret realm. The gains from this secret realm trip were great. He had unraveled another part of the prehistoric secrets. The great battle of the past wasn't as simple as he initially understood. The most important part was the shattering of hell. How exactly hell shattered was a mystery. He still remembered that when this topic was mentioned, even Lord Wenshin's eyes showed disbelief. Countless years had passed, and even now, Lord Wenshin still didn't know the true reason hell shattered. In his words, neither the God realm nor the Black Blood realm had the ability to shatter hell. If that was true, then there was only one possibility. Behind these two realms, there was an even more powerful figure behind the scenes. The shattering of hell seems to have had a very profound impact on the battle situation back then. In that era, what kind of role did hell play? What kind of function did it serve? I really want to enter the river of time and see that era. With his current level of comprehension of the time Tao, he still couldn't enter the river of time. Even if he could reverse time, he couldn't reverse to such an ancient event. Moreover, Lin Moyu didn't want to see just one aspect. He wanted to see the whole picture. For this, he could only personally enter the river of time to truly see. When his strength became great enough in the future, Lin Moyu knew he would certainly go investigate. What he wanted to see wasn't just the prehistoric era, but also other things. He wanted to see clearly each and every secret. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt he was actually quite gossipy. The curiosity hidden in his deepest parts was actually so strong. He smiled self-mockingly, holding the teacup in his right hand, lightly waving his left hand. 12 exquisite and ancient boxes appeared neatly, floating in midair. Lin Moyu leisurely drank tea while his left hand casually drew talismans. Drawing talismans and opening boxes held no difficulty for Lin Moyu. The boxes were opened one by one, and strange auras spread out with them. Outside the palace, two Celestial Fox clan direct lineage members guarding suddenly showed strange expressions. Did you feel that? The aura in the palace seems a bit strange. Indeed strange. I feel this aura is very ancient, different from others. I wonder what identity this Mr. Lin inside has. Why is the clan leader so polite to him? Don't know, but since the clan leader calls him Mr. Lin, he must be qualified for the title, sir. And we don't need to think about other things. Just follow the clan leader's instructions. I'm just curious why a third-level Dao Venerable human can be respectfully called, Sir. And a human living on an inner-city mountain peak, this has never happened before. If you want to know, you can go ask the clan leader. Forget it. The clan leader isn't someone you can see whenever you want. They didn't know that the aura they sensed came from Dao fragments. Lin Moyu had opened 6 boxes in succession. What was inside were all Dao fragments, and not ordinary Dao fragments. Since going to the intersection realm, Lin Moyu had become very familiar with Dao fragments. Counting the 6 boxes before him, he now had 8 Dao fragments in hand. All 8 Dao fragments had been artificially refined. Lin Moyu's thoughts raced, analyzing what might have happened back then. When the Dao shattered initially, many fragments fell onto the origin continent. Someone once tried to repair the Dao, so they collected Dao fragments and re-refined them. But unfortunately they didn't succeed. There were too many Dao fragments, not just a few or dozens, but thousands upon thousands. Moreover, the Dao fragments that fell on the origin continent were only a very small portion. Many more Dao fragments went to unknown places. With too many fragments missing, repairing the Dao would be very difficult. The Dao fragments before him belonged to the Purple Lightning Dao. The main body of the Purple Lightning Dao was in the intersection realm. There were still some fragments there that hadn't moved far after shattering. Some fragments fell into the origin continent. And some fragments went to unknown places. The Blood Rat Realm's Scarlet Fire Dao was the same, with many fragments going to unknown places. Without finding those fragments, repairing the Dao became very difficult. Just looking at how the Scarlet Fire Dao still hadn't been repaired after countless years showed this point. In others' eyes, Dao fragments had no use, not even as good as Great Dao crystals. At least Great Dao crystals could tangibly enhance cultivation. Even Lord Wenchen said so. Although Dao fragments were precious, they indeed had no use. But Lin Moyu didn't think so. Lord Wenchen's words weren't entirely correct. He reached out and summoned a Dao fragment to his hand. It's already been refined by someone. So can it be used to summon elemental liches? As the words fell, a flame rose from his palm. Chapter 3168, 3168. Chapter 3168, Lightning Lich. These Dao fragments had been artificially refined and completely disconnected from the main Dao body. The Dao fragment before him could be considered top-tier material from the Great Dao realm. Previously, Lin Moyu thought he couldn't use it to summon elemental liches. But after trying with the Scarlet Fire Dao, he found it was actually possible. At that time, it was the interference from the Scarlet Fire Dao's main body that caused the summoning to fail. Without interference from the main Dao body, the summoning would have very likely succeeded then. This was one reason. The second reason was that the Purple Lightning Dao was the origin continent's own Dao. If its fragments were used to summon elemental liches, it was unknown whether it would affect the Dao. But later he found this thinking was also unnecessary. A small fragment wouldn't have much impact on the Dao's recovery. Unless it was dozens or hundreds of fragments, only then would there be some impact. Knowing this, there were no more concerns. Origin level technique. Summon elemental lich. Flames rose in his palm, enveloping the Dao fragment. Lin Moyu felt that when this Dao fragment first shattered, it should have been quite large. Later, after artificial refining, it became as small as it was now. The flames burned fiercely. The Dao fragment remained motionless in the flames. Lin Moyu wasn't anxious. How could it be so easy to shake a Dao fragment? It wasn't ordinary Great Dao realm material, but a small part of the Dao's physical form. Just in terms of quality, it surpassed all Great Dao realm materials, truly top-tier material. Using it to summon an elemental lich, Lin Moyu wasn't very certain what kind of lich would ultimately emerge. If this summoning succeeds, I can also try using the Ice Fire Dao Stone to summon an elemental lich. The Ice Fire Dao Stone is also Great Dao realm material. If used for summoning, the effect should also be excellent. Powerful elemental liches possessed astonishing combat power. In the battles in the Ancient Battle's Secret Realm and Intersection Realm this time, the 5 Elements Sword Demon played an extremely important role. Finally, after the flames burned for a full half hour, the Dao fragment finally underwent some changes. It began to soften, its surface gradually melting. After burning for another half hour, the surface of the Dao fragment finally turned to liquid, reflecting dazzling light. Suddenly, a strange power surged out from deep within the Tao fragment, exploding into large patches of purple lightning. Powerful force exploded from Lin Moyu's palm. The Tao fragment was blasted away on the spot. Even Lin Moyu was caught off guard by this sudden accident. The Tao fragment indeed contained powerful force inside. He didn't expect it to erupt at this moment. Fortunately, the erupted force wasn't strong, only blasting itself away. If all the power inside had erupted, this mountain peak would probably have become flat ground. Worse, those Celestial Fox clan people on the mountain peak might all have been killed in the blast. The current situation was already very fortunate. Still failed. It seems it's still a cultivation issue. Lin Moyu looked at the Tao fragment that had crashed in the distance, silently sighing. Suddenly his gaze paused. He saw flames still burning on the ground not far away. Although the Tao fragment had shattered, the flames for summoning the elemental lich hadn't completely extinguished. They were still burning, with fuel coming from the part that had melted earlier. An insignificant part of the Tao fragment's surface had melted. In the explosion, the melted part separated from the Tao fragment and was still burning. Now, in the flames, these melted parts were gradually changing shape. Lin Moyu's eyes suddenly lit up. There's still hope. An unexpected turn for the better. Lin Moyu felt a touch of pleasant surprise. The melted part only accounted for an extremely tiny portion of the entire Tao fragment's surface. Added together, it was only about the size of a water droplet. This droplet kept changing shape in the flames, melting again, turning into dense mist, constantly changing shape in the flames, finally condensing into a fist-sized ball. The dense mist rapidly transformed, taking on the appearance of a lich, quickly solidifying in the flames. This continued for about another hour. Suddenly the flames extinguished, and a brand new elemental lich finally took shape. Purple light flickered. The newly appeared elemental lich instantly appeared before Lin Moyu, so fast that even Lin Moyu couldn't see clearly. This short distance of over 10 meters was like teleportation. Lightning surrounded the new elemental lich's entire body, like a little lightning baby. His soul moved, and the elemental lich's information appeared in Lin Moyu's mind. Lightning Lich. Realm. 7th level Tao Venerable. Grade. Perfect. Growth limit. None. Techniques. Chain Lightning, Lightning Tao. Chain Lightning. Lock onto enemies, strike down lightning. After lightning hits an enemy, if there are other enemies nearby, the lightning can spread to them, forming chain attacks. Can be combined with Bloodline, Soul, Tao, Active Locking and other methods for judgment. Lightning Tao. Borrow the power of the Lightning Tao to enhance one's own attacks. Within the range covered by lightning, can freely teleport. The Lightning Lich's realm was lower than Lin Moyu had imagined. After all, it was a Tao fragment, top-tier Great Tao realm material. Originally Lin Moyu thought the summoned elemental lich would be at least 9th level Tao Venerable even at worst. Now the summoned one was only 7th level Tao Venerable, much lower than expected. But thinking about it, this was normal. After all, he had only used that insignificant tiny part on the surface of the Tao fragment, which could be considered some impurities of the Tao fragment. Being able to summon such a lich was already not bad. It was 7th level Tao Venerable itself. With the Lightning Tao assisting, its combat power could probably reach 8th level Tao Venerable, only stronger than the 5 elements Sword Demon, not weaker. The Chain Lightning technique could be used for one-on-one combat and also for area attacks. The locking methods were flexible and varied, also an extremely powerful technique. Most crucially, it could teleport within the lightning range. That is to say, as long as the lightning range was large enough, it could freely traverse the battlefield, coming and going without a trace, absolutely a terrifyingly formidable existence. Wiping away the slight disappointment, overall Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the Lightning Lich. His mind moved. Lin Moyu held a Tao fragment in front of the Lightning Lich. Can you eat this? Liches could grow. If it could devour Tao fragments, perhaps it could grow like the Buddhist realm lich. The Lightning Lich shook its little head in confusion, indicating it couldn't eat it. Lin Moyu felt somewhat helpless. After all, it was still his own problem. His realm wasn't high enough, so he couldn't summon powerful enough beings. Putting away the Lightning Lich, Lin Moyu took out the Ice Fire Tao Stone. After hesitating for a while, he put the Ice Fire Tao Stone away again. The Ice Fire Tao Stone wasn't comparable to Tao fragments. Its power was strong and violent, not very stable. If an accident occurred during summoning, the explosive power of one Ice Fire Tao Stone would be enough to destroy half of Nine Tails City. So even if he wanted to summon, it couldn't be done here. Putting away the ice fire Dao stone, Lin Moyu continued opening boxes. The first 6 boxes were all Dao fragments. He hoped the next 6 boxes would have some different surprises. Prehistoric cultivators liked to use such boxes to store things. The boxes were identical, and only upon opening would one know what was inside. The 7th box was opened. A faint light burst out from the box. Lin Moyu's mouth curved slightly. Finally, it's not a Dao fragment this time. Chapter 3169, 3169. Chapter 3169, The Best Grinder. Inside the box were 20 great Dao crystals neatly arranged. One can never have too many great Dao crystals. The more the better. Counting these 20 great Dao crystals, Lin Moyu now had 150 in hand, enough to guarantee he could cultivate at 100 times speed for 150 years. For other realms it's hard to say, but at least from 3rd level to 4th level Dao Venerable, Lin Moyu would only need 3,600 years. Compared to other Dao Venerables who took several thousand or tens of thousands of years to cultivate, Lin Moyu's cultivation speed was simply godlike. The 8th box and 9th box were opened in turn, resulting in 2 more Dao fragments. Now Lin Moyu had 1,000 purple lightning Dao fragments in hand. 10 had been refined, and all were from the same hand. I really don't know how many Dao fragments that person refined, Lin Moyu couldn't help but grumble in his heart. If only these Dao fragments could be exchanged for great Dao crystals, that would be so much better. After all, great Dao crystals were tangibly useful. Whether Dao fragments would be useful in the future was unknown. At least they were useless now. Lin Moyu steeled his heart and threw 10 Dao fragments into skeleton hell. Grind them to powder. His mind moved. He didn't let the hell fiends eat them, but had them use their teeth to grind the Dao fragments into powder. Even Lin Moyu felt this request of his was bizarre. But if it worked, he would obtain a large amount of great Dao crystals. At least he wouldn't have to worry about future cultivation. Regardless of whether skeleton hell could successfully grind them to powder, Lin Moyu had already opened the 10th box. Fortunately, the 10th box wasn't Dao fragments again. It was another 20 great Dao crystals. The total number of great Dao crystals reached 170. Then the 11th box, another 20 great Dao crystals. Looking at the last box, Lin Moyu muttered, "Last one, at least let it be great Dao crystals." Actually, what Lin Moyu wanted most was still that strange jade from before, the jade that could revive the 1,000 stars Dao. Unfortunately, such jade was extremely rare. He had asked Lord Wenchen. This kind of jade was called Great Dao Essence Jade, a very rare item. Even in that era back then, Great Dao Essence Jade was very rarely seen. Even if there was any, it was basically used up. Those that could be preserved were even fewer. Being able to obtain one was already an incredible stroke of luck. For Great Dao Realm beings, Great Dao Essence Jade could directly increase cultivation without any side effects. Great Dao Realm beings would use it directly without hesitation. At that level, one's own cultivation strength was absolutely the top priority, indisputably. But Great Dao Essence Jade had no effect on people below Great Dao Realm. It couldn't be absorbed or utilized. Besides this, it had another use, repairing damaged Daos. Great Dao Essence Jade contained the Dao's origin power and could quickly restore damaged Daos. But it had no use for already shattered Daos. The 1,000 stars Dao was severely damaged but hadn't shattered. Using Great Dao Essence Jade to repair it was very suitable. Although the 1,000 stars Dao still couldn't be converted into any combat power, Lin Moyu had high hopes for it. He believed that one day in the future, the 1,000 stars Dao must be able to bring him extremely strong power. As the talisman fell, the 12th box also opened in response. There was no Great Dao Essence Jade inside, only 20 Great Dao crystals. The Great Dao crystals in Lin Moyu's hand reached 190, enough to maintain 100 times cultivation speed for 190 years. Great Dao Essence Jade was still too rare. Being able to get one before was already very fortunate. Lin Moyu didn't have extravagant hopes. Putting away the boxes, he turned his attention to Skeleton Hell. The Hell Fiends were still gnawing on the Dao fragments, one bite after another. Hell Fiends truly deserve the title of eating anything. Even refined Dao fragments could be gnawed on. Many marks had been ground onto the Dao fragments, with many scratches appearing. At the same time, a large amount of powder had been ground off. The Hell Fiends completely followed Lin Moyu's orders and didn't touch this powder. They had truly become the best grinders. Lin Moyu collected the Dao powder. The powder was still powder and hadn't turned into great Dao crystals. Is something still missing? Lin Moyu pondered in his heart. Lord Wenchen certainly wouldn't deceive him. There must be some problem somewhere, something missing. This problem was too high level. Lin Moyu only thought for a while before giving up directly. With his current realm of understanding, it was impossible to figure this out. He summoned the lightning lich and handed the ground powder to it. Can you eat this? The lightning lich looked at it in confusion for a while, then shook its head, indicating it couldn't eat it. Lin Moyu had no choice but to find a box to put the powder in, then took back all the Dao fragments. The powder was useless, so there was no need to continue the Hell Fiend's grinding work. With the mystery boxes opened, Lin Moyu was free again. He came to the top of the palace, set up a tea table, and directly cultivated and drank tea on top of the palace while enjoying the scenery. From here, one could see the entire Nine-Tails city and also other mountain peaks. Exquisite palaces stood on each mountain peak. One could see many Celestial Fox clan members coming and going in the palaces. Looking at Nine-Tails City, it was even more bustling with people coming and going. Nine-Tails City was incredibly huge. Even the capitals of the other 9 royal clans combined couldn't compare to Nine-Tails City. It was precisely because of this that Nine-Tails City was called the first city of the origin continent. This city was enough for Little Mist and the others to play for a while. There was no need to worry about them for now. Let them relax for a while. One must both cultivate and relax. In the world of rules, Lin Moyu brought out purple lightning to let them enjoy lightning strikes. The three's cultivation increased rapidly. Now temporarily stopping cultivation to play for a few days, then they would have to suffer. Removing the Dao poison from their souls wouldn't be pleasant. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu showed a slight smile. He was somewhat curious how the three would react. In Lin Moyu's soul world, the 55th Dao pattern had already condensed halfway. At any time, even during the most intense battles, condensing Dao patterns had never stopped. At the same time, research and study of formations also hadn't stopped. When multitasking became a habit, Lin Moyu no longer needed to divide his attention. Whatever he did wouldn't be affected. Enjoying the scenery, the sun origin gradually disappeared, its light beginning to dim. This also meant that the time for the moon origin's rule was about to come. The colors of the earth gradually darkened. Lin Moyu suddenly saw a sword standing between heaven and earth among the distant mountains. The sword was taller than the mountain peaks, reaching into the clouds, disappearing into the mist. Earlier when the sun origin covered the forests, Lin Moyu hadn't noticed it. Only now did he see it. 72 swords, Lin Moyu softly recited, his mind instinctively searching for information. The 72 swords were distributed throughout the origin continent. Each of the 4 continents had 18 swords. This sword in the Celestial Fox clan's territory was called the Fox-tail sword, one of the 72 swords. The 72 swords weren't evenly distributed. The distance between each sword varied, seemingly without pattern. Some powerhouses had investigated before, finally concluding that the 72 swords formed an extremely special formation. The origin continent once had 9 regions. Later the 9 regions shattered, and the divine region cauldron that suppressed the earth veins also disappeared with them. Without the divine region cauldron, the origin continent's earth veins became unstable. Later some powerhouses took action, descending the 72 swords, distributing them throughout the 4 continents to stabilize the earth veins. Although the earth veins were stabilized, the 72 swords weren't as good as the divine region cauldron and couldn't completely stabilize them. In places without origin spirit veins, the terrain of the origin continent would still undergo drastic changes. Chapter 3170, 3170. Chapter 3170, the 72 swords also have strong and weak ones. Seeing the fox-tail sword, Lin Moyu instinctively thought of the jade sword chi in his body. Back then, the jade Dao sword had planted sword chi in his body. Whenever the sun origin appeared, the jade Dao sword would emit sword chi to temper his Dao heart. Without realizing it, Lin Moyu could feel his Dao heart becoming more steadfast. The Dao heart was intangible, invisible and untouchable, yet it truly existed. Every cultivator needed to temper their Dao heart, but very few could truly achieve it. The jade Dao sword's tempering of the Dao heart was subtle and imperceptible, extremely slow in effect, but constant. When he first gained the jade Dao sword's recognition, he had been elated for a while. Later, without realizing it, he had forgotten about this matter. It could only be said that too many things happened afterwards, one after another, rarely having a chance to properly sort out himself. Seeing the fox-tail sword, Lin Moyu had the idea of going over to take a look. The 72 swords were connected. Having gained the Jade Dao sword's recognition was equivalent to gaining recognition from the other 71 swords. Going over to take a look probably wouldn't cause anything to happen. He had nothing else to do anyway. Mr. Lin, a voice came from outside the palace. Lin Moyu saw Su Feng standing outside the palace, greeting him. He had said before that without his instructions, no one should enter the palace. So Su Feng's was stopped outside the palace, unable to enter. Lin Moyu slowly rose, floating down from the air to appear before Su Feng's. What brings Brother Su here? Now Su Feng's had changed his name. The Beast Emperor had designated him as part of the main branch. Su Feng's should now be called Suzi. Suzi said, I left the ancient battle secret realm early before, then thanks to Mr. Lin's blessing, became a main branch disciple. The clan leader had me return first to handle the identity matters, and also move into the inner city. I just heard that Mr. Lin had arrived, so I rushed over immediately. He called Lin Moyu, Mr. Lin, very smoothly. Even the clan leader called Lin Moyu, sir. How could he dare to call him, friend, anymore? That would be asking for trouble. Lin Moyu smiled, what instructions do you have for me? Suzi's mouth twitched, his whole face twisting. Mr. Lin, please don't say that. How could Suzi dare give you instructions? I just came to say hello and express my thanks. Lin Moyu asked curiously, thanks for what? If it's about becoming part of the main branch, you should thank the Beast Emperor, not me. Suzi shook his head, giving Lin Moyu a meaningful look. Lin Moyu understood. He smiled, do you have time? I want to go see the fox-tail sword. Could you show me the way? Suzi nodded like a chicken pecking rice, I have time, I have time. Shall we go now? Now, Lin Moyu told the people guarding outside the palace not to follow, then let Suzi lead the way towards the fox-tail sword. The two flew through the air. Nine-Tails City also had its own rules. One couldn't fly around randomly everywhere. There were designated routes. Many Celestial Fox clan guards constantly patrolled in the air, maintaining order. Lin Moyu followed beside Suzi and asked, friend, you seem to have more to say just now. Suzi said softly, actually, when the clan leader asked me how I was saved before, I didn't tell the truth then. At the moment of life and death, a senior suddenly appeared and saved me. That senior said he acted to save me out of consideration for you. But that senior told me not to tell others about his existence. Lin Moyu already knew that the person who saved Suzi should be Lord Wenchen. He smiled and said, why are you telling me then? Suzi said, this matter originated with Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin naturally doesn't count as an outsider. Lin Moyu said, he probably saw that you had potential, so he didn't want you to die. I was just his excuse. You don't need to think too much about it. Suzi shook his head, even an excuse needs to be found. It's precisely because. He said halfway when Lin Moyu had already interrupted him, let's just let this matter pass. You and I are both friends and comrades in arms. Such small matters don't need to be said much. Suzi thought for a moment and said softly, being able to become friends with Mr. Lin is Suzi's honor. Lin Moyu indeed accepted Suzi as a friend, but only limited to being a friend. Instead, it was people like Lei Hao that made him feel more comfortable when interacting. Compared to Lei Hao, Suzi lacked a kind of true nature. This was also a common problem with smart people. Being too smart made them overthink things. Instead, straightforward people like Lei Hao who said whatever they thought were easier to get along with once you got used to them. Lei Hao wouldn't change his attitude because of Lin Moyu's status. He still enthusiastically called him, Brother Lin. As for how others behaved, that wasn't his concern. Along the way, Suzi told Lin Moyu about the Celestial Fox clan's affairs. Lin Moyu sometimes had questions, and Suzi answered every question. This also gave Lin Moyu a deeper understanding of the Celestial Fox clan. Gradually, the two approached the fox-tail sword. Over 10,000 li away, they could already feel the powerful pressure brought by the fox-tail sword. Suzi introduced, the fox-tail sword is located between the fifth tail and fourth tail of Nine-Tails City. About a quarter of what we consider the fifth tail branch was cut off by the sword. That's why our clan named it the fox-tail sword. Lin Moyu nodded slightly, that's quite vivid. The 72 swords didn't have names. The names were all given by later generations. As for what they were called before, only the swords' owners would know. Even asking the sword spirits might not work. In Jade Sword City, Lin Moyu had already discovered that everyone's way of addressing the swords would form a strange power, slightly changing the sword spirit's cognition. This power was somewhat similar to the power of belief. The population of Nine Tails City far exceeded that of Jade Sword City many times over. If it was truly the power of belief, then the sword spirit would also believe its name was Fox-tail Sword. The two gradually approached the Fox-tail Sword. When they were still 1,000 li away, a sword chi shot towards Suzy from afar. Suzy's face changed. He took out a shield which instantly enlarged. He and Lin Moyu both hid behind it. Bang! The shield shook. Suzy blocked the sword chi. The sword chi wasn't strong. Any Dao Venerable could block it. But there was a strange power within the sword chi. A large patch of illusions immediately appeared before Suzy's eyes. He let out a low shout, his soul power surging to sweep away all the illusions. Suzy exclaimed in amazement, "How can this be?" Lin Moyu chuckled lightly, "Your Dao heart is still not steadfast enough." Suzy was somewhat confused. Why did Lin Moyu suddenly mention the Dao heart? What did it have to do with the Dao heart? Lin Moyu explained, that sword chi just now would trigger illusions, able to temper the Dao heart. As long as your Dao heart is strong enough, you can treat it as nothing. Suzy was a bit dazed, so that's how it is. Lin Moyu sighed, that senior back then was truly ingenious. Using 72 swords not only stabilized the origin continent's earth veins, but also gave cultivators a chance to temper their Dao hearts. If I'm not mistaken, this should be your first time here. Suzy nodded, indeed it's the first time. I've only heard about it before. Lin Moyu said, come here more often in the future. As your cultivation rises, your Dao heart must keep up. Otherwise, an unstable foundation isn't good. Suzy's face was solemn, I understand. Let's go, continue. Lin Moyu continued flying towards the Fox-tail Sword. He had already seen that the Fox-tail Sword was stronger than the Jade Dao Sword. Even among the 72 swords, there were strong and weak ones. Chapter 3171, 3171. Chapter 3171, You're still a bit inferior to that person. As they got closer, waves of sword chi came crashing down like the sky was falling. The sword chi wasn't very strong. What was truly difficult to deal with was the test of one's Dao heart. When there were only 500 li left, Suzy had already reached his limit and couldn't bear it anymore. Illusions sprang up before his eyes. The world he saw became more and more unreal. Suzy began to have difficulty distinguishing truth from falsehood. Mr. Lin, I can't go on. I can only send you this far. After struggling to advance a few more li, Suzy finally couldn't hold on any longer. When blocking the sword chi, his Dao heart was severely impacted. Countless illusions rushed in, disturbing his mind. If he continued forward, he feared he would go mad. Lin Moyu said, then stay here. Use this sword to temper your Dao heart. I see quite a few of your clansmen ahead, all tempering their Dao hearts. You can't fall behind. After saying this, Lin Moyu flew alone towards the Fox-tail Sword. Strangely, no sword chi attacked him along the way. He had the Jade Dao sword chi planted in his body. The 72 swords shared the same origin. The Jade Dao sword spirit had said before that gaining its recognition was equivalent to gaining recognition from the other 71 swords. Now it seemed this was indeed the case. But even if it wasn't so, Lin Moyu wouldn't care much. With his Dao heart, blocking sword chi of this level wasn't difficult. Along the way, there were also many Celestial Fox clan members using the sword chi to temper their Dao hearts. Their realms were all above 4th level Dao Venerable. The Fox-tail Sword's tempering of the Dao heart surpassed the Jade Dao Sword. From 1,000 li away, it was already within range of its sword chi. The sword chi struck directly at the soul, unavoidable. Starting at Dao Venerable level already surpassed the Jade Dao Sword. The closer one got, the higher the requirement for the Dao heart. Suzy was formerly a collateral branch disciple. On his cultivation path, he only focused on realm and cultivation, neglecting his Dao heart. So he stopped at 500 li. Instead, those Celestial Fox clan members who paid attention to their Dao hearts, though their cultivation realms weren't as high as Suzy's, could go further. The Dao heart was one of the foundations, extremely important and couldn't be neglected. One could imagine that Suzy would need to spend a lot of time tempering his Dao heart. Lin Moyu flew leisurely towards the foxtail sword, muttering to himself, this sword is of a very high level. If the 72 swords are seen as a formation, then these swords are each a formation node. Among the formation eyes, there are main ones and secondary ones. The Jade Dao sword's node is secondary, while the foxtail sword's node is main. That senior actually set up steps for everyone, starting from the simplest, climbing step by step. With the Dao heart in place, cultivation and such will naturally follow. It's just a matter of time. Lin Moyu's appearance attracted quite a bit of attention. While others were constantly enduring the bombardment of sword chi, Lin Moyu moved as if in a place without people. The sword chi simply didn't target him. For a moment, the Celestial Fox clan members were bewildered, completely unable to understand. What's going on with this person? Why isn't the sword chi attacking him? Yeah, why isn't the sword chi attacking him? Could it be because he's human? Impossible. It's not like humans haven't come before. The foxtail sword attacked them all the same. This person's luck is so strong. Indeed, his luck has transformed into a dragon. He must be a genius even among humans. If not here, I'd really like to go over and make friends with him. The Celestial Fox clan was after all still part of the beast races, retaining some beast race characteristics. Once they started talking freely, there were no reservations. They spoke loudly and ate heartily. In Lin Moyu's eyes, the Celestial Fox clan was already smart enough. After all, beast races that knew to temper their Dao hearts weren't many. Most beast races only focused on cultivation realm, not paying much attention to things like the Dao heart. Lin Moyu continued to approach, advancing another 200 li. Within 300 li of the foxtail sword, fewer and fewer people could remain. Only a handful were left. Lin Moyu swept his gaze over them. The highest realm among them was an 8th level Dao Venerable. The rest were all 7th level Dao Venerables. Although the Dao heart wasn't directly related to realm, generally speaking, those with higher realms would have stronger Dao hearts. Those with rich life and death experiences would also have stronger Dao hearts. Here, Lin Moyu still wasn't attacked by sword chi. Lin Moyu remained relaxed and at ease, continuing to fly forward. Behind him, the Celestial Fox clan members were already dumbfounded. What was happening to Lin Moyu was simply too miraculous. When Lin Moyu approached within 100 li again, even that 8th level Dao Venerable Celestial Fox clan member couldn't help but look over. Lin Moyu sensed the other's gaze, turned his head to give a slight smile, then continued forward. Finally, Lin Moyu came to a place only 100 li from the foxtail sword. At this time, those Celestial Fox clan members watching Lin Moyu exploded into discussion again. Heavens, he's reached 100 li. If I remember correctly, our clan's highest record is 100 li. He's about to break our clan's record. I think he's not normal. The sword chi didn't attack him at all. Does he have some treasure that can fool the foxtail sword? Impossible. I've never heard of any treasure that can fool the foxtail sword. Amid their discussions, Lin Moyu walked into the 100 li zone, thoroughly breaking the Celestial Fox clan's record. The 100 li area where the foxtail sword was located seemed like another world. Myriad sword chi fell from the sky like waterfalls, evolving into a world belonging solely to sword chi. The vast sword chi obscured everything. After entering here, Lin Moyu disappeared from everyone's sight. You've come. A voice suddenly sounded. Lin Moyu looked up. Above the foxtail sword, a swordsman appeared in midair. Lin Moyu saw through his identity at a glance. Human Lin Moyu greets the foxtail sword spirit. Senior sword spirit, you know of me. The other was the foxtail sword spirit, but this sword spirit seemed somewhat different from the Jade Dao sword spirit. This sword spirit must have existed for countless years. His eyes flashed with the light of wisdom, as if seeing through the entire world. The foxtail sword spirit said softly, the Jade Dao sword spirit once told me you gained its recognition. Lin Moyu smiled, just good luck. The foxtail sword spirit shook his head, no. The Jade Dao sword spirit said that in your memories, there's an extremely terrifying figure. That figure is even more terrifying than our creator. Lin Moyu knew who the other was talking about. Back then, his memories were drawn out by the Jade Dao sword, even attracting the attention of a strand of the green-robed elder's divine sense, nearly causing the entire Jade Sword City to collapse. Even the Jade Dao sword's body developed countless cracks. At that time, the Jade Dao sword spirit was frightened badly. The Jade Dao sword almost shattered on the spot. Listening to the foxtail sword's words, Lin Moyu realized that the 72 swords could communicate with each other. This also confirmed his guess that the 72 swords formed a formation covering the entire origin continent. Then many things happening on the origin continent would be known to these sword spirits. No wonder this sword spirit looked so mature. He clearly knew many important things. Lin Moyu asked, "So, senior sword spirit didn't test my Dao heart this time?" The foxtail sword spirit said, "You've already gained the Jade Dao sword's recognition, so I don't need to test you again. Our master once said that in the future, someone might become our new master. You might be one of them, but in my view, you're still a bit inferior to that person." Chapter 3172, 3172. Chapter 3172, The 72 Swords Are Too Weak. To become the new master of the 72 swords, the first thing was to gain the recognition of the 72 swords. It could be any one sword, first gaining recognition and planting a sword seed. For example, Lin Moyu now had the Jade Dao sword seed in his body. The sword seed could continuously temper the Dao heart, making it stronger and stronger. After the Dao heart was strong enough, one could then seek other swords and gain new sword seeds. When all 72 sword seeds were obtained, through some special methods, one could refine the 72 swords and become their new master. Forget about gaining recognition from all 72 swords. Even gaining recognition from one was already very difficult. Even 9th level Dao Venerables might not be able to do it. Lin Moyu being able to gain recognition from one was already good. This time he happened to see the fox-tail sword and casually came to take a look. Lin Moyu actually didn't have any strong desires in his heart. His path was different. He had no longing for the 72 swords. But hearing the fox-tail sword spirit say he was inferior to another person, Lin Moyu became curious. "Can senior sword spirit tell me who that person is?" Lin Moyu asked curiously. The fox-tail sword spirit said, "That person truly possesses a sword heart. Her Dao is the sword Dao. Your Dao heart is very strong, but your Dao is not the sword Dao. People who take the sword as their Dao are rare." Lin Moyu thought for a moment, then suddenly knew who the fox-tail sword spirit was talking about. The corners of his mouth curved slightly, revealing a smile. "If I'm not mistaken, the person senior sword spirit is referring to should be a woman." The fox-tail sword spirit nodded, "That's right, it's a woman." Lin Moyu continued, "Her appearance should be somewhat similar to mine." The fox-tail sword spirit looked at Lin Moyu, thinking for a moment. "That's right, indeed somewhat similar." Lin Moyu was now completely certain of the other's identity. "Then there's no mistake. She is my elder sister." The fox-tail sword spirit said softly, "Her name is Lin Mohan, your name is Lin Moyu. So you're siblings. This makes sense. Both of your Dao hearts are extremely steadfast, and your talents are equally outstanding." Lin Moyu said, "It's been a long time since I've seen my elder sister. I wonder how many swords recognition she has gained, and what her cultivation is now." Counting, it had been many years since he had seen Lin Mohan. Since parting in the Great World, Lin Mohan had gone her own way. After coming to the Great World, there had been no news of Lin Mohan. Lin Moyu had once searched in the Lufeng Chamber of Commerce, but couldn't find her. Lin Mohan seemed to have disappeared. Fortunately, there was still the blood resonance. Lin Moyu could feel that Lin Mohan was still alive. Also because of the blood resonance, Lin Moyu knew his elder sister's realm was probably a bit higher than his own. After all, besides her own cultivation opportunities, Lin Mohan also had his help through their bloodline. As for how much higher, that was unknown. The fox-tail sword spirit said, "According to the rules set by our old master, some things can't be said. I can't reveal other people's information to you, even if she's your sister. But in my view, she's more suitable to become our new master than you." Lin Mohan walked the path of the sword Dao, and was indeed more suitable to become the new master of the 72 swords than himself. Lin Moyu had no objections to this. If the spirit wouldn't say, then so be it. It wasn't like he had to know. As long as Lin Mohan was alright, that was enough. Lin Moyu said to the fox-tail sword spirit, "I'd like to trouble senior sword spirit to pass on a message for me. Is that alright?" The fox-tail sword spirit nodded, "Go ahead." Lin Moyu said, "When my elder sister comes again, tell her I've built a Yu Dao city in the eastern continent. If she has time, she can come find me." The fox-tail sword spirit said, "All right." When she appears again, this message will be passed on word for word. The 72 swords, 72 sword spirits, could communicate with each other. As long as Lin Mohan appeared again, his message would be passed on. Lin Moyu bowed to the foxtail sword spirit. Many thanks, senior sword spirit. I'll take my leave now. The foxtail sword spirit seemed to confirm again. Are you sure you're giving up inheriting the 72 swords? Senior also said I have my own Dao. Lin Moyu turned and left decisively, without any hesitation. Although the 72 swords were powerful, in Lin Moyu's eyes, they were nothing special. The divine region cauldron that could perfectly suppress the 9 regions' earth veins was now in his hands. This substitute wasn't worth having. Wisps of sword chi dispersed from Lin Moyu's body. As he turned, the jade Dao sword seed in his body dissipated with it. Since he wasn't walking this path, there was no need for the jade Dao sword seed to exist. Moreover, even without the jade Dao sword, his Dao heart was still incredibly solid. The foxtail sword spirit was slightly stunned. You even dispersed the jade Dao sword seed. Lin Moyu smiled. Since I'm not walking this path, what use is the sword seed to me? The 72 swords are strong, but for me, they're still too weak. My Dao heart, forget about the 72 swords, even if your old master came in person, it couldn't be shaken. If you don't believe me, senior sword spirit, you can try. Dispersing the jade Dao sword seed, Lin Moyu didn't regret it at all. His Dao heart didn't rely on external things. He sought enlightenment himself. The foxtail sword spirit's gaze was slightly doubtful. Lin Moyu's words made it somewhat uncomfortable. In its heart, the old master's status was supreme. For a mere third-level Dao venerable little fellow to say such arrogant words. But back then, the jade Dao sword had tested Lin Moyu's Dao heart and suffered some losses. The foxtail sword spirit still hesitated, wondering whether to try or not. Watching Lin Moyu walk further and further away, in the end, the foxtail sword spirit still didn't act. Even after dispersing the jade Dao sword seed, Lin Moyu still wasn't attacked by sword chi. He just flew out bit by bit like this. He left the foxtail sword, reappearing in the celestial fox clan member's sight, then slowly went away. When passing by Suzy, Lin Moyu said softly, you temper your Dao heart well. I'm going back first. Come find me when you have time. Suzy was currently using most of his mind to fight against illusions, unable to attend to other matters. He could only nod slightly in response to Lin Moyu's words. Lin Moyu didn't return to his mountain peak, but entered Nine Tails City. Rarely having free time, he should also relax himself. Alternating between tension and relaxation was the correct path of cultivation. Sometimes, relaxation was also a kind of cultivation for the Dao heart. Nine Tails City was extremely lively. As the world's #1 city, Nine Tails City had an extremely special status. Even the great cities of human holy lands couldn't compare. In Nine Tails City, besides insect races, one could see almost every race on the origin continent. Occasionally, even cultivators from sea races would come to purchase some items. The Lufeng Chamber of Commerce also had a large branch here. For several days in a row, Lin Moyu wandered leisurely in Nine Tails City, also buying many specialties to bring back to Yudao City in the future. Lin Moyu didn't lack money. He spent generously, buying in large quantities at once. On the 7th day of his arrival in Nine Tails City, clan leader Sumo came to find him. He brought 2 sets of materials for Lin Moyu. One was information about the Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land, explaining some situations in the ancestral land. The second set of materials was related to hell fragments. Over these few days, Sumo had ordered people to carefully search for all information related to hell fragments, organizing many clues. Whether true or false, useful or not, he brought it all to Lin Moyu. Chapter 3173, 3173. Chapter 3173, The 3 young ladies' luck is really strong. Lin Moyu carefully examined the 2 sets of materials, analyzing them. Sumo was very thorough in his work, and the prepared materials were sufficiently detailed. In the Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land, there was a rebirth trial. To pass the trial, cultivation realm was secondary. The most important thing was luck. After passing the trial, one could gain the recognition of the ancestral land's spirit. Only in this way could Celestial Fox clan members continue to advance. Celestial Fox Clan members after 7th level Dao Venerable, if they wanted to advance further, all needed to gain the ancestral land spirit's recognition. This was also true for becoming clan leader. After reading the materials, Lin Moyu felt the Celestial Fox Clan's ancestral land was somewhat strange, especially the existence of the ancestral land spirit was odd. Analyzing from the materials, it seems there are shackles in the Celestial Fox Clan's bloodline. Only by gaining the ancestral land spirit's recognition can the shackles be unlocked. After unlocking the shackles, the bloodline can continue to grow, thus allowing cultivation realm to continue advancing. But the existence of this ancestral land spirit, was this done by the Celestial Fox Clan's ancestor? Why do this? This is too unreasonable. If something happens to the ancestral land, the Celestial Fox Clan would be finished. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Such a simple principle, the Celestial Fox Clan's ancestor shouldn't be unaware of. With the Celestial Fox Clan's wisdom, Lin Moyu didn't believe the Celestial Fox Clan's ancestor would do such a foolish thing. So, Lin Moyu was 70% certain that the existence of this ancestral land spirit must be strange. There was also a problem with that drop of what seemed to be black blood in the misfortune. The specifics would have to wait until entering the ancestral land to know. After reading the materials on the Celestial Fox Clan's ancestral land, Lin Moyu had a general understanding of the ancestral land. Next was to wait for Sumo to prepare and open the ancestral land. Then he looked at the materials related to hell fragments. These materials were very scattered, often some news of unknown truth or falsehood. The Celestial Fox Clan's materials had accumulated over countless years, and without an existence like the human emperor, it was impossible to organize so much material clearly and neatly. Sumo being able to find this information was already very difficult. It must have taken a lot of manpower over these few days to achieve this. This information was too scattered. Even Lin Moyu looking at it was confused. For example, some of the items said, 3,000 years ago, in the southeast of the northern continent, magma suddenly erupted. Vicious spirits burst out from the magma, continuing for dozens of days, devouring a small city, causing deaths and injuries to tens of thousands of beast races. 8,000 years ago, in the northwest of the eastern continent, black chi suddenly soared to the sky. Where the black chi passed, all things withered and decayed. Someone once saw skeleton-like monsters inside. ... Such information was hard to distinguish true from false, and there would also be exaggerations. Plus it was too scattered. Lin Moyu also found it difficult to analyze. Lin Moyu found the simplest method, throwing all this information to the human emperor, letting the human emperor organize and analyze it. The human emperor had a complete database. He could string together various events that happened back then, analyzing in detail from a more macro level, and finally draw conclusions. The only thing that could be certain now was that in the Netherworld clan located in the western continent, there must be a hell fragment. This was also Lin Moyu's next target. On the 10th day, Sumo came again. Mr. Lin, the ancestral land can be opened at any time. Lin Moyu nodded slightly, wait a bit longer. Let those few come back. Sumo smiled, actually, letting them play in Nine Tails City is fine. This old man will have people take good care of the young ladies. Lin Moyu shook his head, I don't like accidents happening, even if it's just a tiny accident. This makes me uncomfortable. Sumo still smiled, it seems Mr. Lin really cares for his disciples. Lin Moyu smiled without saying more. Only Lin Moyu himself knew the reasons. Among the three, Little Five's identity was special. If discovered by others, it would certainly cause some unnecessary trouble. Although Lin Moyu wasn't afraid, this kind of trouble could be completely avoided. Especially when he wasn't around. If there was trouble, things might get out of his control. Even with Sumo's guarantee, Lin Moyu didn't want to gamble. Lin Moyu sent a message to Little Mist. Although Little Mist was a bit crazy, she didn't dare disobey Lin Moyu's words. Soon, Little Mist and the other two flew back amid laughter. Behind them, several Celestial Fox Clan Dao Venerables followed. Lin Moyu could see that these Celestial Fox Clan Dao Venerables were somewhat helpless. Playing crazily with 3 girls for 10 days, even Dao Venerables could barely handle it. Suddenly Sumo's eyes lit up. His eyes flashed with light as he swept over the 3. The 3 young ladies' luck is really strong. In his eyes, all 3 had luck transformed into dragons, a sign of luck reaching the extreme. Sumo felt that the reason the 3's luck could be so strong was because of Lin Moyu. Finally his gaze fell on Little Five. His nose twitched slightly, then showed a surprised expression. He suddenly understood why Lin Moyu wasn't at ease. Sumo's reaction was very subtle. No one present noticed except Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't say anything. He said to Little Mist and the others, "Have you played enough these days?" Little Mist giggled, "Nine Tails City is so big and fun. We want to play for a few more days." Lin Moyu said, "You can, after finishing the important business we'll come out to play again. Go back first." As he spoke, Lin Moyu opened the entrance to the world of rules. Little Mist made an "oh" sound and obediently went in. Then Little Moon and Little Five also followed back into the world of rules. Seeing the three return, the several Celestial Fox Clan Dao Venerables following behind them obviously breathed sighs of relief. Lin Moyu thanked them, "Thank you for your trouble these past few days, friends." They all responded that it was no trouble. Joke. This was an order from the clan leader. Forget about just 10 days, even if it was more time, they could only endure. Lin Moyu turned to Sumo, "Then please lead the way, clan leader Su." Sumo gestured, "This way please, sir." He led Lin Moyu towards the inner city. The Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land wasn't in Nine Tails City. It was in a special space. No one knew exactly where. Only through special secret techniques could contact be established with the ancestral land. Then a passage would be established to enter the ancestral land. Sumo led Lin Moyu to a mountain peak in the inner city. This mountain peak looked no different from other peaks, also with a palace standing on it. But when Lin Moyu approached the mountain peak, he smelled a strong bloody scent. Sumo led him into the palace. The bloody smell instantly intensified several times. Inside the palace was a blood pool. A full 100 Celestial Fox Clan Dao Venerables were surrounding the blood pool, injecting their blood into it. These Celestial Fox Clan Dao Venerables were all above 4th level, and their bloodlines were pure and powerful. Needless to say, these people were all from the main branch. Sumo explained, "Only using main branch disciples, blood can activate the secret technique to open the road to the ancestral land." Lin Moyu indicated he understood. There are countless secret techniques in the world. Secret techniques using fresh blood are not few. Sumo beckoned. A Dao Venerable came to Sumo's side. He's called Su Li, this old man's grandson, 8th level Dao Venerable. He'll enter the ancestral land with Mr. Lin this time, to be Mr. Lin's guide. Chapter 3174, 3174. Chapter 3174, The Ancestral Land Occupied by Death. Su Li had entered the ancestral land several times and was quite familiar with it. As Sumo's grandson, he could be fully trusted. Being an 8th level Dao Venerable, he was also the most suitable candidate. Before the ancestral land issue was resolved, Sumo dared not let any 9th level Dao Venerables enter. Currently, the Celestial Fox clan only had 3 9th level Dao Venerables left, and they couldn't afford to lose any more. Su Li bowed to Lin Moyu. Su Li greets Mr. Lin. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "Thank you for your trouble this time, friend Su Li." Su Li quickly replied, "It's we who are troubling Mr. Lin." "How can you say it's trouble? Mr. Lin, you're being too polite." Lin Moyu turned to Sumo, "While I'm in the ancestral land, please help me find more information, clan leader. Also, I'd like some historical materials about the origin continent. Your clan's records should be quite complete. If possible, please provide me with a copy." Sumo understood Lin Moyu's meaning. "Rest assured, Mr. Lin. I'll have someone compile it right away." The historical materials Lin Moyu requested didn't involve the Celestial Fox clan's secrets. Such information could actually be bought from the Lufin Chamber of Commerce, but Lin Moyu asked them for it to cross-reference. No single source's information was complete, nor entirely correct. Only by combining and verifying multiple sources could one obtain relatively accurate results. The blood in the pool began to boil, and a powerful force burst out, shooting towards the sky. The blood hit the palace ceiling, which emitted a dazzling light, containing the blood. The blood continuously struck the palace, causing thunderous sounds. The space at the impact point shattered layer by layer, forming a passage along the blood flow. "Mr. Lin, please follow me," Su Li said, then turned and plunged into the passage first. Lin Moyu took a step and followed Su Li into the passage. The passage wasn't spacious, only wide enough for the two of them. In the spatial tunnel, a force constantly pushed them forward, feeling somewhat similar to teleportation. Half a minute later, light appeared before Lin Moyu's eyes. The light instantly expanded, occupying his entire field of vision. His feet touched solid ground, a grassy field that felt soft. As far as the eye could see, there were vast grasslands and a series of small hills, undulating and extending towards the distance, seemingly endless. A gentle breeze blew, carrying the scent of fresh grass. It was very refreshing. If there were some small animals, this would be a beautiful place. Unfortunately, there were no small animals here. Despite the grass everywhere, Lin Moyu still sensed a faint aura of death. According to the materials Sumo gave Lin Moyu, this land wasn't always like this. In the past, the ancestral land had living beings and many small animals. But for some unknown reason, the small animals became fewer and fewer until they completely disappeared. Su Li stood beside Lin Moyu. The problem in the ancestral land seems to have worsened. Lin Moyu asked, "When was the last time you came in? What was the situation like then?" Su Li said, "The last time I came in was about 2,000 years ago. There were no small animals then, but I could still feel that the grass had vitality. But this time, I sense death. Perhaps in a few thousand years, even this grassland will be gone." Lin Moyu casually plucked a blade of grass, roots and all. It still looked green, but the roots were somewhat rotten. Lin Moyu said softly, "Perhaps it won't take a few thousand years." Su Li said very sincerely, "I hope Mr. Lin can help us solve the crisis in the ancestral land." Lin Moyu said, "I promised clan leader Su that I would do my best." Lin Moyu looked around. No matter which direction he looked, the scenery was exactly the same, and he had no idea which way to go. Among so many directions, only one was correct, and all others were wrong. This was also the first test after entering the ancestral land, finding the right direction. There was no guidance, and one had to rely on luck to make a choice. Lin Moyu smiled and asked, "How did you do it before?" Su Li said, "A long time ago, there was actually a method. We could observe the small animals. We would go in the direction where there were more small animals. But now, without small animals, we can only rely on luck." Lin Moyu shook his head. "Luck is indeed important, but sometimes you need to look at methods and approaches. Luck can only be the icing on the cake." His mind stirred, and the surrounding space distorted as skeleton generals flew out. The skeleton generals flew in all directions, quickly forming a map in Lin Moyu's mind. With enough skeleton generals covering all directions, there was no need to gamble on luck. Su Li stood there stunned. "Are these Mr. Lin's puppets?" Lin Moyu said, "You can think of them that way. Let them scout the path, and we'll quickly find the correct route." Su Li was dumbfounded. Originally, he wanted to use his experience to help Lin Moyu, but now it seemed unnecessary. The grassland was deathly silent. The skeleton generals used their undead eyes but didn't see a single living being along the way. A moment later, Lin Moyu suddenly asked, "Is the correct path a valley?" Su Li quickly nodded, "Yes, it's a valley. We call it the 10,000 Flower Valley because there are many flowers in it." "Then we're not mistaken," Lin Moyu said as he flew forward, with Su Li hurriedly following. They flew over the grassland for at least 100,000 li before seeing the valley. The valley's terrain was lower than the grassland, like a basin. From a distance, the entire valley looked like a giant beast curled up on the grassland. The skeleton generals stood in front of the valley, unable to enter. A force spread out from the valley, forming an invisible wall blocking the way. From outside the valley, one could see many different kinds of flowers inside, hence its name 10,000 Flower Valley. The valley seemed like the end of the map, impossible to cross. In Lin Moyu's view, anyone could find the valley. Even if they went in the wrong direction initially, they would eventually find it, just taking more time. In practical terms, people with good luck could find it accurately, while those with less luck might need to search a few more times before finally finding it. The so-called first test wasn't much of a test at all. Su Li looked at Lin Moyu with admiration. "Mr. Lin is indeed extraordinary, finding the 10,000 Flower Valley so easily." Lin Moyu said, "It's just the first step." Su Li immediately said, "The beginning is always the hardest. I believe the following tasks won't be difficult for Mr. Lin either." The two came to the valley entrance. Lin Moyu said, "According to the materials clan leader Su provided, to enter the 10,000 Flower Valley, we need to cultivate a flower." Su Li nodded, "We call this flower the Flower of Destiny. Different flowers of destiny will also make subsequent tests different." Lin Moyu asked, So if we cultivate different flowers of destiny, will we be separated in the valley? Su Li said, yes, the tests in the valley must be completed independently by each person, but after passing through the valley, we'll reunite. Then let's go. Lin Moyu walked to the front of the valley and immediately encountered the invisible wall guarding it. Lin Moyu followed the instructions in the materials, gently moving his soul power to communicate with the valley. The next moment, an unopened flower flew out from the valley and came to his hand. This flower was the flower of destiny. It would absorb his luck and then bloom. Su Li explained, this is the flower of destiny. It will absorb Mr. Lin's luck. The better the luck, the faster it will bloom. Chapter 3175, 3175. Chapter 3175, the difference between 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Su Li's words were cut short, unable to continue. The flower of destiny in Lin Moyu's hand had already bloomed brilliantly. It was fast, incredibly fast. Lin Moyu asked, is this sufficient? Su Li's facial muscles twitched uncontrollably, mumbling, how can it be so fast? An 8th level Dao Venerable, at this moment, seemed to lose his composure. Although Su Li was startled by Lin Moyu's speed, he quickly regained his senses, trying his best to remain calm. Mr. Lin's luck is the strongest I've ever seen in my life. For others to make the flower of destiny bloom, it takes 10 minutes at the fastest, and half an hour at the slowest. The highest record in our clan took a full 8 minutes to make the flower of destiny bloom, but Mr. Lin. From the moment Lin Moyu received the flower of destiny until it bloomed, it took no more than 10 seconds. 8 minutes versus 10 seconds, the difference was too vast. Lin Moyu asked, is there any significance to this? The materials Lin Moyu received mentioned the flower of destiny but didn't explain whether the speed of blooming would have any impact. The materials couldn't possibly detail every aspect, which was why Su Li was brought along as a guide. In fact, being a guide was secondary. Su Li's true purpose was to explain various occurrences within the ancestral land to Lin Moyu. Su Li explained, in the 10,000 Flower Valley, everyone will face their own unique path. Generally speaking, the stronger one's luck, the faster the flower of destiny blooms, and the weaker the challenges faced after entering the valley. Our clan's ancestral land primarily tests luck. As long as one's luck is strong enough, other factors become secondary. If luck is insufficient, then the requirements for cultivation realm will increase. Through Su Li's explanation, Lin Moyu understood the mechanism of the Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land trials. Luck was the primary factor, with cultivation realm as a secondary consideration. The ancestral land required Celestial Fox clan members to be at least 7th level Dao Venerable to enter, but there was no such requirement for outsiders. Although there was no realm requirement for outsiders, the trials inside hadn't changed. Almost every trial had a cultivation realm requirement up to the Dao Venerable level. There was only one exception: if one's luck was exceptionally good, the cultivation realm requirements would naturally decrease. Once, an outsider had entered. At that time, he was a 5th level Dao Venerable, but his luck was very good. The trials he faced were only at the 4th level Dao Venerable standard. That outsider passed through all the challenges and finally gained the recognition of the ancestral land spirit, becoming an adopted member of the Celestial Fox clan. This was one of the differences between the Celestial Fox clan and other beast clans. The Celestial Fox clan allowed the existence of adopted members. Adopted members could enjoy considerable rights and benefits from the Celestial Fox clan, such as access to some of the clan's secret techniques and treasures. To become an adopted member of the Celestial Fox clan, one of the requirements was to gain the recognition of the ancestral land spirit. But compared to Lin Moyu, that person was clearly far inferior. Lin Moyu smiled and said, this rule is reasonable. One can't have it all. Forcing it would lead to the opposite effect. Choosing one of the two maintains the balance of yin and yang. Your clan's ancestor understood this principle well. Su Li smiled but didn't dare to respond. He wouldn't presume to comment on his clan's ancestor. Lin Moyu said, if that's the case, I'll go in first. See you after the valley. Su Li nodded, be careful on your way, Mr. Lin. Lin Moyu, holding the flower of destiny, entered the 10,000 Flower Valley. The invisible barrier of the valley naturally dispersed, and Lin Moyu walked in without any obstruction. At the moment of entering the valley, Lin Moyu still felt the power of the Celestial Fox clan's ancestor. The barrier outside the valley was strong enough to block a 9th level Dao Venerable. If one didn't follow the rules, even a 9th level Dao Venerable couldn't enter the valley. This also indicated that the Celestial Fox clan's ancestor was a Great Dao Realm expert. Only those at the Great Dao Realm had such abilities. The 10,000 Flower Valley lived up to its name, with countless flowers blooming inside. After entering the valley, Lin Moyu looked back and saw no way to retreat. At the moment of entry, he had entered an independent space, a space that belonged only to him. Even if Su Li had entered with him, they would eventually be separated into different spaces. The scenery inside the valley was picturesque, with flowers in full bloom and fragrant scents permeating the air. The flower of destiny in his hand emitted a soft glow, its light intertwining in front of Lin Moyu, guiding the way forward. After walking about 1,000 meters, 3 different paths appeared ahead. All 3 paths were covered in flowers, but each path had different types of flowers. The left path was filled with bright red flowers. At first glance, they looked like blazing flames, burning fiercely. A second look made them seem like a churning sea of blood. The middle path was mainly yellow flowers, appearing much softer in color and seemingly unremarkable. The right path was filled with ink-black flowers, the entire road tinted black. Red, yellow, and black, 3 paths of different colored flowers lay before Lin Moyu, requiring him to make a choice. Just by looking at these 3 paths, Lin Moyu couldn't tell what lay ahead. Only by entering would he know. The flower of destiny in his hand intertwined its light, pointing towards the right path. This was the guidance given by the flower of destiny. It would indicate the easiest path to take. As long as one followed its guidance, there generally wouldn't be any problems. Lin Moyu understood clearly that while the flower of destiny seemed to be nurtured by his luck, what truly made it bloom was his destiny. The root of luck lies in destiny. Strong destiny leads to strong luck. If destiny is average, luck becomes unstable, sometimes good, sometimes bad. If destiny can remain consistently strong, then luck can also remain consistently good. The flower of destiny absorbed luck, but what truly played a role was destiny. The reason he could make the flower of destiny bloom so quickly was primarily because his destiny was strong enough. The flower of destiny connected with the rules inside the 10,000 Flower Valley, providing different paths based on one's level of destiny. These paths weren't just one, but could be divided into different difficulties. The flower of destiny would point out the easiest path, but if one wanted a challenge, they could choose other paths. Combining the information from the materials and his own deductions, Lin Moyu quickly arrived at an answer. Given these rules, Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't make things difficult for himself and would choose the simplest path. His goal was to reach the end of the ancestral land and see what problems had occurred, not to be tested by the ancestral land. As he approached the rightmost path, about to enter, his spiritual sense suddenly felt uneasy. The foot he had raised was instantly withdrawn. Lin Moyu greatly trusted his spiritual sense. Whenever there was danger, his spiritual sense would surely react. This time, although his spiritual sense didn't give a clear warning, the feeling of unease still surprised Lin Moyu. There's danger here. The unease in his spiritual sense must mean danger existed. But because he hadn't entered yet and hadn't truly encountered the danger, his spiritual sense was only uneasy. Lin Moyu realized that as his cultivation realm increased, his spiritual sense was becoming stronger. Why would there be danger on the safest path indicated by the flower of destiny? What kind of danger could it be? As his thoughts moved, the destiny talisman of the Soul King began to glow brightly. Chapter 3176, 3176. Chapter 3176, It really is the Black Blood Realm. The Destiny Talisman was the first Dao pattern Lin Moyu had fused. Its function was to predict the future. When Lin Moyu first fused the Dao pattern, he could only see events 2 seconds into the future through the Destiny Talisman. This time was too short and mostly useless. Now, with his realm improved and more Dao patterns fused, the Destiny Talisman had naturally strengthened. Lin Moyu activated the Destiny Talisman, and the scene before his eyes changed. He saw what might happen in the future. He saw himself step onto the path full of black flowers. In an instant, countless black flowers rose up, transforming into flower demons wielding sharp swords. These flower demons numbered in the tens of thousands, each with battle power equivalent to a 3rd-level Dao Venerable, matching his own realm. The next second, the flower demons charged at him with their swords. The vision ended there, lasting 6 seconds in total. The time he could see into the future had increased from 2 seconds to 6 seconds. Although still brief, it was much more powerful than before. Flowers turning into swordsmen, black flowers, black swordsmen, is this a coincidence? Lin Moyu pondered. Why would the flowers transform into black flower demon swordsmen? Was it related to the black blood realm? Combining this with the vision he saw in the misfortune earlier, Lin Moyu tried to connect the dots. But the information was still too scarce to reach an accurate conclusion. After thinking for a moment, Lin Moyu approached the middle yellow flower path and used the destiny talisman again. This time, the flowers didn't become swordsmen. The moment he entered the flower path, all the yellow flowers melted, turning into highly corrosive poisonous water. He immediately flew up, avoiding the water. Lin Moyu had a feeling that the yellow path seemed simpler compared to the black path. Finally, for the red flower path, under the destiny talisman's prediction, it turned into a sea of fire, but the fire's power wasn't strong enough to harm Lin Moyu. After viewing all three paths, Lin Moyu discovered that the most dangerous was actually the path indicated by the flower of destiny. The left red flower path and the yellow flower path could be passed through using extremely simple methods, with almost negligible difficulty. But on the right black flower path, the flower demons that evolved into swordsmen were at the same realm as him, numbering over tens of thousands. For other cultivators, facing such a situation would be certain death. This could no longer be called a test, it was simply sending someone to their death. It seems the ancestral land really has a problem, and it's not a small one. What should have been the safest path has now become the most dangerous. I hope Suli can make it through. Lin Moyu once again walked towards the rightmost black path. After the destiny talisman's prediction, Lin Moyu had changed his mind. Originally, he wanted to take the simplest path to quickly reach the end of the ancestral land and see what had happened. But now, Lin Moyu wanted to see if there was any connection between the swordsmen on the black flower path and those from the black blood realm. The destiny talisman could only show him future scenes, but seeing isn't always believing. Some things needed to be experienced personally to understand. Moreover, what were tens of thousands of swordsmen evolved from the black flower path in front of him? When it came to numbers, Lin Moyu was never intimidated. Stepping onto the black flower path, the passage behind him instantly disappeared, leaving Lin Moyu with no way to retreat. Countless black flowers flew up from their roots, transforming into black flower demon swordsmen in midair. This scene was identical to what he saw through the destiny talisman. The swordsmen evolved from the flowers were all third-level Dao Venerables, each just slightly larger than a fist, rushing towards Lin Moyu like a torrential rain. The flower demon swordsmen reached Lin Moyu, their small sharp swords slashing and stabbing, falling like rain. Lin Moyu remained unmoved, ignoring them and allowing the swords to fall on his body. An invisible force naturally appeared on his body, his blood essence vibrating and emitting a faint rumbling sound. All attacks were blocked by this layer of invisible force. This was a protective barrier formed by fusing the power of the Dao with his physical body and blood essence, perfected through hundreds of attempts. Similar to the protective divine light of the outer realm gods, it didn't need to be activated and could take effect at any time. Lin Moyu's current abilities naturally couldn't be compared to the outer realm gods, but blocking these mere third-level Dao Venerable flower demon swordsmen was effortless. Lin Moyu walked forward amidst the attacks, while carefully sensing these flower demon swordsmen. Judging purely from the attacks, there doesn't seem to be any problem. It's a pure force attack, without any impurities. After sensing for a while, Lin Moyu reached out and grasped one of the flower demon swordsmen in his hand. His soul power stirred slightly, wanting to sense with his soul power. Perhaps he could see some information from them. The moment his soul power touched it, the flower demon swordsman exploded with a bang, turning into dust and completely dissipating. Not allowing me to look. Lin Moyu muttered to himself. The more this happened, the stranger he found it. He then grabbed several more flower demons in succession, each time they shattered at the instant of soul contact. After repeated shattering, Lin Moyu finally discovered a clue. At the moment of shattering, two forces would emerge. These two forces were very small, deeply hidden, and even he had difficulty sensing them. One of the forces was unfamiliar to him, he didn't recognize it. But the other force was very familiar, he had been dealing with it since entering this world. It really is the Black Blood Realm. Lin Moyu could not mistake it, it was definitely the power of the Black Blood Realm. It was just that the other side had hidden it very deeply, and the power was extremely weak. At this point, it could be confirmed that the anomaly in the Celestial Fox clan's ancestral land was indeed the Black Blood Realm's doing. As for how they did it, that was still unknown. Having confirmed his suspicions, Lin Moyu lost interest in playing with them. He threw out several punches in succession. The power of the Tao roared, his blood essence boiled, and terrifying fist power instantly enveloped the surroundings. In an instant, tens of thousands of flower demons were completely wiped out. Third-level Tao Venerable beings were truly not worth mentioning in front of Lin Moyu. Without using any techniques, purely with his physical strength, Lin Moyu was capable of contending with fifth-level Tao Venerables. Killing third-level Tao Venerables was child's play. Lin Moyu continued walking forward on the flower path. More black flowers ahead evolved into flower demons, but Lin Moyu couldn't be bothered to look. With one punch, he cleared them all out completely. Wherever he passed, not a single black flower remained, leaving the previous flower path bare. The flower path wasn't long, only 10,000 meters. Soon, Lin Moyu reached the end and calmly walked out. The view in front of him became broad again. Completing the flower path meant he had left the 10,000 flower valley. The flower of destiny in his hand automatically flew up, heading forward and leaving a trail of intertwining light. Lin Moyu didn't move, he was waiting. He believed Su Li should have a way to cope. Even if Su Li encountered the same flower demon swordsman as he did, it shouldn't be too difficult for him. As he killed his way through, Lin Moyu discovered that the black blood power contained in the flower demon swordsman was very weak, unable to evolve into overly powerful flower demons. At most, they would be 5th-level Tao Venerables. Su Li, being an 8th-level Tao Venerable, should be able to handle them without much difficulty. After waiting for a while longer, the space behind him suddenly began to distort slightly. Su Li finally walked out of the 10,000 flower valley. At this moment, Su Li's expression was extremely unpleasant, and he had suffered some injuries. Su Li said in a low voice, "Mr. Lin, it's terrible." Chapter 3177, 3177. Chapter 3177, A Bold Idea. Lin Moyu released a stream of life force, enveloping Su Li. Su Li's injuries immediately began to heal. His wounds were all superficial and not really serious. "Don't rush, explain slowly," Lin Moyu said calmly. Having already figured out the root cause, there was naturally no need to hurry. The most troublesome thing in this world is not having a powerful enemy, but not knowing who the enemy is. Once you know who the enemy is, you've already won half the battle. Su Li said, "Following the flower of destiny's guidance, I chose what should have been the easiest path, but it turned out to be extremely difficult. There were tens of thousands of flower spirits inside, all at the 5th-level Tao Venerable realm. I fought my way through, but there were too many. I couldn't kill them all and had to find a way to break out. In the end, they gathered together and formed a giant 7th-level Tao Venerable flower demon. This giant flower demon was very powerful. I barely managed to kill it before finally escaping. The Celestial Fox clan was clever but not adept at fighting. Among those of the same realm, the Celestial Fox clan's combat power had always been on the weaker side, unable to compare with warrior races like the Golden Lion clan. Just look at Su Li. Despite being an 8th-level Tao Venerable, he was injured by a 7th-level flower demon. This showed how truly weak their combat power was. After listening to Su Li's account, Lin Moyu didn't speak but fell into deep thought. Su Li wanted to say more, but seeing Lin Moyu's expression, he closed his mouth. The situation Su Li encountered was similar to what Lin Moyu had imagined. The power from the Black Blood realm had infiltrated this place, affecting the ancestral land. However, there was also another force within the ancestral land resisting it. Otherwise, Lin Moyu might have faced 5th-level Tao Venerable flower demons instead of 3rd-level ones. It seems the ancestral land's spirit hasn't completely fallen and still has some resistance against the Black Blood. After understanding this, Lin Moyu casually said, "Let's go. We can talk as we walk." Lin Moyu immediately followed the last intertwining light trail left by the Flower of Destiny. Although the flower had been affected, its general direction wouldn't be wrong. At the same time, Lin Moyu sent out a large number of skeleton generals to explore in all directions. Not far ahead were continuous high mountains with countless ancient trees and dense forests. The skeleton generals once again proved their usefulness. Su Li followed behind Lin Moyu, with a hint of anxiety. "Mr. Lin, do you know what's happening?" Lin Moyu nodded, "I have a general idea. A force has invaded your ancestral land, changing some of the rules inside. That's why the Flower of Destiny's guidance became misleading. If you hadn't followed the flower's guidance and chosen one of the other two paths, it might have been much easier. Su Li was stunned for a moment, then showed a bitter smile. So that's how it is. For countless years, they had become accustomed to trusting the flower of destiny's choice and naturally wouldn't have any doubts. They would only think that if the easiest path in the changed ancestral land was this difficult, the other paths must be even harder. Who could have imagined that the other paths hadn't become more difficult, but rather the flower of destiny had been affected? Su Li asked, then is the direction we're going now correct? Lin Moyu said, it's probably correct. The main function of the flower of destiny hasn't changed, but we need to be careful about the details. Your ancestral land's spirit must be resisting that force. Otherwise, you might have encountered 6th or 7th level Dao Venerable flower demons instead of 5th level ones. Su Li smiled bitterly. If that were the case, I wouldn't have even made it out of the 10,000 Flower Valley. Mr. Lin, since you know so much, do you know where this opposing force comes from? Lin Moyu said, I know, but I can't tell you. When we return, I'll explain it to clan leader Sumo. If you want to know, you can ask him. However, I think he won't tell you either. If you really want to know, become the clan leader. As clan leader, you'll naturally know. Su Li made a sound of acknowledgement and didn't pursue the matter further. He knew that many things were only privy to the successive clan leaders. He didn't have that qualification yet. Lin Moyu continued, if we encounter danger later, follow my instructions. Su Li nodded, please give your orders, Mr. Lin. I'll follow them without question. As they approached the dense forest, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped. A sense of deathly stillness emanated from the forest. Though it appeared lush and ancient, it was actually filled with a deathly aura. Yet within this heavy death aura, there were still living beings. Activating his undead eye, Lin Moyu saw numerous soul flames densely scattered throughout the forest, too many to count. The soul flames varied in size. The weaker ones were below the Dao Venerable realm, while the stronger ones reached the 6th level Dao Venerable realm. He didn't detect any above the 6th level Dao Venerable realm. Lin Moyu said, according to the materials, this dense forest is the third trial. Tell me in detail, what is the trial here? Su Li quickly explained, we call this place the 10 Directions Forest. There are formations covering the forest, creating different pathways between them. We need to advance along the paths formed between the formations. If we accidentally enter a formation, we'll be attacked by various creatures within it. We must find a way to escape the formation and then find the correct path again. Lin Moyu asked, what does this have to do with luck? Su Li said, because we of the Celestial Fox clan basically don't understand formations, and the formations here are very profound. So luck becomes particularly important. Lin Moyu further inquired, even if you don't understand formations, as long as you can find some formation-related treasures, you should be able to detect the specific locations of the formations, right? Su Li shook his head, we've tried that method too, but it was useless. No magical tools could detect the formations, locations. Some clan members even specifically learned about formations. Although our talent for formations isn't high, we still made some achievements, but it was equally useless. In the end, we found that luck was still the most important factor. As Su Li explained, Lin Moyu also observed the dense forest ahead. With his attainment in formations, apart from a very few natural formations, basically no formation could escape his eyes. But after a thorough look, he found no formations in the dense forest, not a single trace of any formation. At this time, the skeleton generals sent out had all reached the boundaries of the ancestral land, touching the space barrier and unable to advance further. Several other skeletons had arrived at the front of the dense forest. There was more than one mountain here, and more than one entrance. According to the information returned by the skeleton generals, there were 10 entrances in total. Lin Moyu said, there are 10 entrances in total. Su Li nodded, yes, that's why it's called the 10 Directions Forest. Once inside, it's a 10,000 li mountain path. Although the distance isn't far, every step must be taken with great caution. If you accidentally enter a formation, it becomes very troublesome. Lin Moyu asked, are the creatures in the formations very strong? Su Li said, they're not too strong, usually just 6th or 7th level Dao Venerables. Those of us who enter are all above the 7th level, so we can handle them. The trouble is that these creatures have some bizarre abilities. Some creatures release poison, some have illusory abilities, and some can paralyze souls. After mistakenly entering a formation, a lot of time is wasted, and time affects the ancestral land spirit's recognition of us. Lin Moyu found it strange. The creatures he saw were all below the 7th level Dao Venerable realm, with the strongest being only 6th level. Moreover, there were 10 entrances, but the Flower of Destiny only pointed to this one. Lin Moyu said, I have a bold idea. I'm not sure if it's appropriate to mention. Chapter 3178, 3178. Chapter 3178. No need to be so troublesome, they can't get through. Su Li instinctively felt that Lin Moyu might be about to do something big. Lin Moyu said, the Flower of Destiny has already had problems. Now it's guiding us here, but no one knows if this path is the most difficult. I see many creatures in the dense forest, but none above the 7th level Dao Venerable realm. Something must have changed in the forest. It's possible that even the formations inside have changed, perhaps becoming much more dangerous. And as you said, although these creatures aren't strong in combat, they're quite troublesome. Even if I'm confident in my luck, with the ancestral land changed, relying on luck alone might not work anymore. Su Li felt Lin Moyu's words made a lot of sense. The ancestral land had indeed undergone some unpredictable changes, and their past experiences might no longer be useful. Not only might they be useless, but their past experiences could even become a deadly poison. Su Li said, the clan leader instructed that as long as Mr. Lin can remove the danger from the ancestral land, you can do whatever you want. Lin Moyu said, don't agree so quickly. I plan to level this 10 directions forest, regardless of what formations or creatures are inside, and flatten it all to the ground. Su Li was startled. Lin Moyu's idea was so bold. He suppressed his shock and said, Mr. Lin, the 10 directions forest is protected by the ancestral land spirit's power. Even a 9th level Dao Venerable couldn't topple it. Lin Moyu smiled, do you think the ancestral land spirit can still manage these things now? Su Li then realized that the ancestral land spirit might indeed be unable to manage these things now. Lin Moyu continued, I suspect the ancestral land spirit is already struggling to protect itself and has no energy left to manage other things. If it really still has the power, I'll stop in time and think of another way. While saying this, Lin Moyu had already thought of a second method. The second method was actually quite simple. Continuously use the destiny talisman to predict changes in the next 5 seconds, ensuring they wouldn't take a wrong path. However, this would be very slow and troublesome, and Lin Moyu disliked trouble. After much thought, Su Li felt Lin Moyu was indeed correct. If the ancestral land spirit really had the power to manage this place, they could stop then. Moreover, no one could guarantee that the current 10 directions forest was still the same as before. Su Li said softly, if that's the case, then Mr. Lin, please go ahead. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, then I'll begin. Let's test it. With a thought, the 5 elements sword demon appeared beside him. Su Li looked at this little creature, barely larger than a fist, wondering what use it could have. The 5 elements sword demon's aura was concealed, at least not noticeable before it took action. The sword Dao appeared, surrounding the 5 elements sword demon. The demon's aura suddenly erupted. Empowered by the sword Dao, a towering sword aura surged from its body, reaching the 7th level Dao Venerable realm. Technique. 5 elements sword C. 5 swords of different attributes flew out from the sword Dao. The 5 elements sword demon pointed with its small hand, and the 5 swords immediately slashed towards the dense forest ahead, followed by countless swords filling the sky. The swords formed a sea, with huge waves reaching the sky, enveloping the dense forest ahead. Su Li felt the power of this sword attack and was moved. This attack was very strong. Even though he was at the 8th level Dao Venerable realm, if faced with this attack, he would have to retreat. If he tried to withstand it head-on, he would inevitably be injured to some extent. He never expected such a small body could unleash such astonishing power. Lin Moyu calmly said, if the ancestral land spirit still has power, it should use the rules within the ancestral land to stop this attack. Su Li nodded, it should. In the past, ancestors have used great force in the dense forest, trying to destroy it, but their power was always suppressed, and they even received punishment. Lin Moyu said, your ancestors set the rules, and the ancestral land spirit maintains and enforces them. The ancestral land spirit is like a steward. You could say it's useful, indeed very useful, but you could also say it's useless, as it doesn't really have much use. In Lin Moyu's view, the ancestral land spirit was similar to a tool spirit. When the ancestral land was intact, it was the great steward within, second only to the celestial fox ancestor. But no matter how strong it was, it relied only on the rules within the ancestral land, originating from the celestial fox ancestor. When the ancestral land's rules had problems, its power would greatly weaken. This attack could be seen as a test, to see what state the ancestral land spirit was truly in. As the sword sea fell, ancient trees in the dense forest collapsed, and the creatures within died under the sword sea. The sword sea covered hundreds of li, plowing through this ancient land again and again. Mountains crumbled under the sword sea, emitting rumbling sounds. In the blink of an eye, the high mountains before Lin Moyu had turned into a pile of ruins. Yet even so, the ancestral land spirit showed no reaction, and no formations appeared either. Lin Moyu asked Su Li, "What do you think?" Su Li said, "It seems the ancestral land spirit indeed has no energy to spare. In the past, it would have definitely intervened to stop this. But why didn't the formations appear?" Lin Moyu said, "It's simple. The formations weren't actually here. The previous formations were also controlled by the ancestral land spirit. They could be instantly deployed when needed and withdrawn when not. That's why you couldn't discover the formations by any method. Now it has no energy to manage other things, so naturally, the formations won't appear. If I'm not mistaken, in the past, the ancestral land spirit could clearly see your destiny. People with strong destiny, as long as they weren't too lacking in other aspects, could gain recognition. Those with weak destiny, unless they excelled in other areas, couldn't gain recognition." Su Li's eyes were full of shock. "You're talking about destiny, not luck?" Lin Moyu nodded. "Yes, destiny, not luck. I can sense the power of destiny here. I guess your ancestor must have comprehended the Tao of destiny, so he could see destiny. Strong destiny leads to strong luck. What's truly being tested in the ancestral land is destiny, not luck. Your bloodline should have inherited part of your ancestor's ability, which is why you can see others' luck." Su Li's eyes flashed with light. "Mr. Lin, can you see destiny?" Lin Moyu said, "I can see it, which is why I could analyze the root of the problem. From the current situation, the ancestral land spirit doesn't seem to be in a good state. It definitely has no energy to manage this place. The creatures in the 10 Directions forest have been alerted and are coming towards us. I guess they've also been affected by the invaders." Su Li also sensed a large number of creatures rushing towards them. His expression changed slightly. "I'll clear them out." Lin Moyu shook his head. "No need to be so troublesome. They can't get through." With a point of his finger, space violently distorted, and the skeletal hell appeared in response, instantly expanding to its maximum size, enveloping most of the 10 Directions forest within it. Hell fiends flew out, biting at the creatures rushing in. No matter how many creatures rushed in, the skeletal hell accepted them all. The hell fiends didn't just eat creatures, they ate everything else too. The 10 Directions forest collapsed at a visible speed. This time, not even ruins were left, it completely vanished into thin air. Chapter 3179, 3179. Chapter 3179, Your Tao heart is too weak. Su Li witnessed firsthand how the 10 Directions forest of their ancestral land was completely annihilated, from existence to nothingness. Countless hell fiends left an indelible memory in his soul. Even after countless years, if he became a higher level being, the scene from today would still shock him. Su Li opened his mouth a few times, seemingly wanting to ask something, but ultimately said nothing. The skeletal hell devoured everything. Those creatures that rushed over were all consumed by the skeletal hell, not a single one escaped. After clearing a large area, Lin Moyu moved to another location and continued using the skeletal hell. After several rounds, the 10,000 li deep 10 Directions forest was completely leveled, not even a single branch remained. However, from start to finish, the ancestral land spirit never came to stop them, and those creatures were different from what Su Li had encountered before. Su Li noticed that all those creatures' eyes were glowing with blood-red light, which wasn't there before. But he didn't have time to look closely before the skeletal hell had devoured them all. With the path ahead cleared, Lin Moyu said, "Friend Su, please continue to lead the way." Su Li was pulled back from his shock and quickly said, "All right, please follow me, Mr. Lin." Now that the flower of destiny was gone, Lin Moyu didn't know if it had been devoured along with everything else by the skeletal hell, but that no longer mattered. Having Su Li by his side was proving useful. He had been to the ancestral land many times and could certainly lead the way without problems. Walking on the land that should have been the 10 Directions forest, Su Li felt somewhat emotional, wondering how the ancestral land had come to this state. For some reason, Su Li felt a bit dazed and confused at this moment. He thought, if even the ancestral land spirit couldn't stop the enemy, could their side succeed? He certainly wasn't up to the task, and Lin Moyu was at most a third-level Dao Venerable. How strong could he really be? Suddenly, Lin Moyu grabbed Su Li, and the wings of time unfurled simultaneously. The two shot towards the sky like lightning. Su Li was startled awake. What happened? Lin Moyu looked towards the ground. See for yourself. Su Li looked down at the ground. The former 10 Directions forest, after Lin Moyu's sweep, had been turned into flat land. Now, on that flat land, a large amount of black mist had emerged. Within the black mist, there were trickling streams, but the water in these streams was also black, looking quite eerie. When Su Li saw the black mist and black water streams, an uncontrollable sense of disgust welled up in his heart. This disgust was something Su Li had never experienced before. It came from his soul and was hard to control. He had an urge to rush down there and use all his life's strength to eradicate all the black mist and streams. This urge was very abnormal. Su Li struggled to suppress his impulse and asked with horror, "What is this? Why do I feel such disgust towards it?" Lin Moyu said, "This is the invader I told you about. It's normal to feel disgust that's forcibly given to you by the Tao. This is nothing yet. When you truly see the opponent, the disgust will be 100 times stronger than now. At that time, don't rush to fight them to the death. Learn to restrain yourself." The horror on Su Li's face didn't disappear. He understood Lin Moyu's words and realized how terrifying the invader was. Horror filled Su Li's face, disgust forcibly given by the Tao. Does that mean it's an enemy of the Tao? Lin Moyu patted his shoulder. Some things are better left unknown to you. Your Tao heart is too weak. When you return, you should spend a few thousand years at the foxtail sword to temper your Tao heart. Su Li said, "I understand. Thank you for your guidance, Mr. Lin." Lin Moyu looked at the streams below. "If I'm not mistaken, there should be an origin spirit vein beneath your ancestral land. That thing first polluted the origin spirit vein. Using the origin spirit vein, it took root here. By the time the ancestral land spirit discovered it, it was already impossible to expel. It also relied on the origin spirit vein to gradually strengthen itself and occupy your ancestral land." Lin Moyu gestured for Su Li to continue leading the way. He didn't bother with the black mist on the ground. This was just a surface phenomenon, not the real source. Once the source was dealt with, the surface phenomenon would naturally dissipate. Soon, the two flew out of the 10 Directions forest area and entered a vast grassland. On the grassland, 3 roads paved with blue stones extended towards the distance. The 3 roads gradually spread out, leading in different directions. In the distance, mist permeated the air, like cloud layers scattered between heaven and earth. The blue stone roads disappeared into the cloud layers, looking like paths to immortality. Su Li said, "Under normal circumstances, after passing through the 10 Directions forest, we would step onto the Azure Cloud Road. Based on our performance in the 10 Directions forest, each person can walk a different Azure Cloud Road. If one performs well enough in the 10 Directions forest, the Azure Cloud Road they can walk will lead directly to the ancestral land's core. At the core, there's a high probability of gaining the ancestral land spirit's recognition. If the performance is average, then their Azure Cloud Road will be difficult to reach the core, but they'll still receive some rewards. If the performance is poor, the Azure Cloud Road will directly send them out of the ancestral land." Lin Moyu asked, 3 Azure Cloud Roads represent 3 outcomes, which means whether one can gain recognition is actually decided in the 10 Directions forest. Su Li nodded. "Yes, it's decided in the 10 Directions forest." Lin Moyu continued to ask, "Are there no other tests on the Azure Cloud Road?" Su Li said, "There's a little more, but not much." He pointed to the distance. "After entering the mist, we'll step onto the Azure Cloud steps. Sometimes the steps are false and we'll step into empty air. If we fall, we'll directly leave the ancestral land, losing the chance to be recognized by the ancestral spirit. Besides that, there are no other requirements. As long as one performs well in the 10 Directions forest, generally, they can complete the Azure Cloud Road." Lin Moyu understood. The Celestial Fox clan's ancestor indeed didn't test Cultivation Realm too much. He mainly tested destiny, and a bit of carefulness. This was somewhat similar to the Cloud Mist sect in the previous Great World. The 3 azure cloud roads represented 3 outcomes: no gain, some gain, and recognition. After being recognized, one could unlock the bloodline shackles and advance further. One could also gain the qualification to become the clan leader. As for the possibility of stepping into empty air at the end, Lin Moyu thought this was also related to destiny. Lin Moyu smiled and said, "So which of these 3 roads should we take?" Su Li shook his head, "I don't know either. In the past, there was only one road. Now there are 3, and I don't know which to choose." The 3 azure cloud roads looked identical, but the results were completely different. In the past, after passing through the 10 Directions Forest, there was no need to choose. Now that Lin Moyu had leveled the 10 Directions Forest, all 3 azure cloud roads were revealed, and they had to make a choice. Lin Moyu looked at the 3 azure cloud roads, trying to find the correct one. But the 3 roads had no differences at all, they were completely identical. Su Li thought for a moment and said softly, "Why don't you level the azure cloud roads too, Mr. Lin?" After all, the 10 Directions Forest had already been destroyed, so what difference would the azure cloud roads make? Lin Moyu shook his head. "Actually, it's not that complicated. These 3 roads aren't difficult to choose." Chapter 3180, 3180. Chapter 3180, Going to meet the uninvited guest. Su Li indeed couldn't see the difference between the 3 azure cloud roads, but since Lin Moyu said so, he must have seen it. Su Li humbly asked, "Please enlighten me, Mr. Lin." Lin Moyu said, "Of the 3 roads, one leads directly out, to the exit of the ancestral land. Another also leads to the exit, but before leaving, one will receive some insignificant rewards. Among the 3 roads, only one leads to where the ancestral land spirit is, which is the core area of the ancestral land. If you try to connect the 3 azure cloud roads with the direction of the origin spirit vein, you'll find that except for the road leading to the core area, the other 2 head towards the branches of the origin spirit vein. So we just need to find the direction of the main vein of the origin spirit vein to know which road to choose. As for whether we'll step into empty air at the end, that's just a test of destiny." Lin Moyu descended to the ground, his feet touching the earth. He extended his spiritual perception to the extreme, beginning to sense the direction of the origin spirit vein. Su Li watched with curiosity, his eyes unblinking. What Lin Moyu was doing now seemed incredible to Su Li. The origin spirit vein was hidden underground, intertwined and extremely complex. Even if one knew of the existence of the origin spirit vein, it would be impossible to understand its direction. To figure it out would require some special methods and a vast amount of time. The entire process would take hundreds of years, and the higher level the origin spirit vein, the longer it would take. Only special spirit beasts like the heaven-devouring rat could understand the direction of the origin spirit vein in a short time. But Lin Moyu himself possessed an origin spirit vein, so he had some understanding of them. Moreover, he had encountered multiple origin spirit veins and had a certain degree of understanding of origin spirit veins of all sizes. The saying goes, all things come from the same source. No matter how the form of the origin spirit vein changes, its main form won't deviate much. It must have a main vein, and the power of the main vein must be stronger than the branches. So Lin Moyu, with his keen spiritual perception, had a good chance of finding the main vein. He carefully sensed the origin spirit vein, looking for the spirit veins corresponding to the 3 azure cloud roads. Comparing them to each other, after a moment, Lin Moyu basically determined which azure cloud road corresponded to the strongest part of the origin spirit vein. The strongest one was likely the main vein, which would be the correct path. But this alone wasn't enough to be completely certain. Lin Moyu raised both hands and began to draw runes. Runes formed at his fingertips one by one, floating in midair, shining brightly. Su Li was stunned again. He never imagined that Lin Moyu would know runes. "I didn't expect Mr. Lin to be a rune master as well." In the origin continent, rune masters weren't uncommon. Even among beast races, there were quite a few. Rune masters could do some amazing things using runes. Some powerful rune masters could even use runes in battle, and the power of runes was no less than some spells. But beast race rune masters were somewhat different from human rune masters. Beast race rune masters' understanding of runes basically came from bloodline inheritance. Unlike human rune masters, who learned and researched runes themselves, eventually mastering them. Comparatively, human rune masters started at a lower point but mastered runes more comprehensively and had a broader future. Beast race rune masters started at a higher point and progressed quickly, but their upper limit was lower, unable to compare with human rune masters. Su Li had seen some beast races with rune bloodlines and had also dealt with human rune masters. Comparing those rune masters with Lin Moyu, he found that whether beast race or human rune masters, they were far inferior to Lin Moyu. When Lin Moyu drew runes, it felt completely natural, as if he wasn't drawing profound runes at all, but simply painting or writing. Most crucially, Lin Moyu used both hands simultaneously, drawing completely different runes with each hand, without any interference between them. Su Li watched with admiration, his eyes full of respect. Lin Moyu had once again broken his understanding. Lin Moyu quickly drew hundreds of runes, which surrounded him, floating freely. Then Lin Moyu waved his hand, and the hundreds of runes quickly combined to form 3 rune formations. These 3 formations were identical, with no differences. Su Li murmured, "Most human rune masters are also formation masters. I should have known that Mr. Lin's attainment in formations must also be strong. Mr. Lin is truly a prodigy. In less than 3,000 years, he's not only cultivated to the 3rd level Dao Venerable realm but also achieved such accomplishments in runes and formations." Su Li was completely in awe of Lin Moyu, thinking that when he was 3,000 years old, he had just become a Dao Venerable, far inferior to Lin Moyu. The 3 formations descended onto the 3 azure cloud roads, which immediately burst into dazzling light. The origin spirit vein beneath the azure cloud roads was activated by the formations, and powerful streams of origin force burst out from underground. At the same time, mist rose in Lin Moyu's eyes as he observed the destiny of the 3 azure cloud roads. All things, from a speck of dust to the infinite Tao, have their own destiny. The azure cloud roads were no exception. They also had their own destiny, and the road connected to the main vein would naturally have stronger destiny. By activating the power of the origin spirit vein, he could distinguish their strength. Combined with observing their destiny, he could determine their superiority. With these 2 methods combined, Lin Moyu immediately locked onto the correct path. Lin Moyu beckoned to Su Li, "I've found it. Let's go." He walked towards the azure cloud road on the left. Su Li didn't doubt Lin Moyu's judgment at all and immediately followed. Now he completely trusted Lin Moyu, believing that any decision Lin Moyu made wouldn't be wrong. Stepping onto the azure cloud road, an invisible force descended. Lin Moyu's body sank slightly. He knew that the rules of the azure cloud road prohibited flying, they couldn't fly here. At the moment he stepped onto the azure cloud road, the way back disappeared, and spatial barriers appeared on both sides. He had no way back and could only advance along the azure cloud road, which was only 10 meters wide. The rules in the azure cloud road came from the Celestial Fox clan's ancestor. The rules were strong, and Lin Moyu couldn't resist them without using his full power. Lin Moyu didn't bother to resist and simply followed the rules. He said softly, "I judged earlier that the invader's first step was to pollute the origin spirit vein. The azure cloud road is also built along the main vein of the origin spirit vein, so it might have been polluted by the opponent as well. If so, the rules inside must have changed. You need to be careful." Su Li nodded, "I understand. Mr. Lin, please be careful too." Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "Let's go. Let's meet the ancestral land spirit and that uninvited guest." The 2 advanced quickly on the azure cloud road. At first, there were no tests on the road. The tests would only appear after entering the clouds and mist. In the past, the azure cloud road at most had the risk of stepping into empty air, losing the chance to be recognized by the ancestral land spirit, but there was no danger. But now, it was hard to say. Soon, they completed the first half of the azure cloud road and entered the clouds and mist. Steps began to appear ahead, and the azure cloud road started to climb upwards. The moment they stepped onto the first step, Lin Moyu smiled, "It's as I thought. What's being tested is destiny.